Hey there, you having a good day? Well, fuck you, because everyone on this subreddit isn't. And you know why they're not having a good day? Because they read or saw something that had a dog in it. Today I'd like to cosplay as those hands that drag you down to hell, but I'd like to drag you to a place that's even more joyless than hell. It's a subreddit dedicated to this crazy hate of dogs. Just the fact that dogs exist bother these people to their very core and ruin their day. God forbid if they see like a Facebook post with a dog in it, or if they hear a dog bark, they go like a fucking full Winter Soldier episode and leave like a 9-paragraph post on this subreddit complaining about it and how dogs should be euthanized out of the world or some shit. It's crazy. I'm not going to say the subreddit's name because I don't want them harassed or anything. Plus, I'd like to preserve it as this nice little specimen for the lunacy to check in on. So I don't want it contaminated and polluted. So please, if anyone finds it, don't go out of your way to ruin it. But there's this whole subreddit dedicated for people to go in there and just vent about how much they hate the fact that dogs exist and tell their stories of when they encountered dogs and how they wanted to kill them or stuff like that, or why dogs shouldn't exist, etc. It is so sad. So unbelievably sad. Now, this also exists for cats, but today I want to focus on the dog one because they're a lot more hateful for some reason. Now, just in case one of these people from the subreddit is watching this video, I'm going to go ahead and call in one of my dogs. That just the sight of a dog makes these people just fucking melt. It's like taking sunlight to a vampire, like rubbing garlic in their face. Kata, come here. Kata! Good girl. What a good girl. Yes. Alright. Now, please, come on, hop up. Join me as we take a look at the most unhappy subreddit on all of Reddit. Good girl. I'd like to start with the most reasonable of everything on the subreddit. So this is, I downvote anything with a dog in it. They go on to explain they're tired of seeing dog content. You know, there's nothing wrong with not liking dogs. You don't have to fucking love dogs or animals in general for that matter. But to go out of your way to make a whole subreddit and multiple posts talking about how much you actively hate dogs and the fact that dogs exist, that's pretty insane. Like, that's pretty wild shit. To just be so bothered by the fact that dogs exist in the world is such a weird thing to harp on. Like, what's next? Are you gonna be outraged at the fact that you can't see air with your own two eyes? Just fucking weird. But anyway, like with everything on the internet, the comments is where shit really pops off, so I'll read a couple. Same. I downvote anything with a dog in it, including memes. I'm on several food Reddits, and at least 3 to 5 times a day I see a picture of someone's food and a dog in the picture, and they mention the doggo. The dogs are usually looking ultra pathetic in the pictures and begging for the food in said picture. It's also pandering for upvotes / awards to have the dog in the picture because doggos are so trendy right now. I mean, I don't care. If there's even remotely a dog in it, I downvote it, and I'm not sorry about it. Yeah, this comment really reads like someone who doesn't care. Sorry, not sorry, just hate dogs. It calls them ultra pathetic. Like, what a weird thing to attribute to an animal. Oh yeah, I was driving around and I saw this fucking pathetic looking dog. Can't even do a bicep curl, probably has a negative KD in Fortnite. It was so sad, so I just fucking spit at it. Like, it's not nearly as good as a human. Dogs can't do what humans do. How fucking sad and pathetic are dogs, am I right, humans? This person's whole identity revolves around their unique trait of hating dogs to an absurd degree. The fact they can't see a dog in a picture with food without getting irrationally angry about it. Like the other commenter said, what if it's just a dog's ear accidentally? And then someone replies, well, if it's a food subreddit, then they shouldn't have a dog so close to their food. Ew. Oh, ew, how yucky, there's a dog in the kitchen. Meanwhile, this guy probably doesn't even wash his hands after taking a shit. Probably doesn't even wipe his own ass either. Like, these are probably the filthiest people on this subreddit, and yet they put all of that on dogs. It's like they're projecting all of their insecurities on dogs. So fucking goofy. Sometime I sort by new, just so I can downvote any dog posts. I hope to catch them before they start trending. That's a great idea. Also, by the way, that is the same person who said dogs shouldn't be anywhere around food, like in the same fucking city as food. Now that's just asshole behavior, like, Jesus, let people have their fun. Someone says, you know what, that's a little too far. But luckily they have a reasonable response, very level-headed. You want to know what is asshole behavior? Having a big dog in an apartment, letting a dog bark all day while you are at work, thinking a dog's life is more valuable than a human's. Okay, calm down here, big shot. Where did you get any of that from the post, which just says I downvote dog posts? Where did all that come from? This is like an onion. We have to peel apart the layers to really figure this shit out. It's so unrelated, you know? It's like getting in an argument with me, or like, Charlie, you're really bad at basketball. And then I turn around and be like, you know what's really bad? The fact that my dad doesn't think I'm successful and laughs at me because I'm short. Like, you know, where's that coming from, Charlie? That's not what we were talking about. In this post, this person was just saying this is kind of asshole behavior to be doing what you're doing, downvoting new posts just because you don't like dogs. And then they turn around and go off on a completely unrelated tangent about valuing dogs' lives more than humans. I do too, referring to downvoting dog posts. Lately there have been a Louis Vuitton ad with an ugly-ass dog in a handbag. I couldn't be more disgusted. Why are luxury brands associating themselves with one of the filthiest animals in the world? That's a pretty big leap, calling dogs the filthiest animals in the world. There's animals that literally live in shit. And you know, humans aren't that clean either. In fact, I would argue humans are dirtier than most animals. Like, you can catch all kinds of diseases from other humans that you can't from animals. I mean, like, you could definitely make the argument humans are actually far grosser. The guy who commented this is probably 15 days without a shower by now. You know, there's plenty of arguments that you can make that make dogs not the filthiest animal in the world. In fact, I don't think at any point you could even make the argument they are. Like, this is just a really delusional post. Making my boyfriend and his dog move out. So this is a lot to digest here. Chapter 1 is spent introducing the characters and setting the scene. This lady has just closed on her dream home and her boyfriend is moving in and he has a dog. Chapter 2, we're introduced to the main villain of this anime arc, who also happens to be the protagonist. So this is her talking about the dog. But I hate him, he smells, he's neurotic, he's super weird about nail trim, so I'm constantly hearing the tap 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 of dog claws on my floor. I just hate it. Because of his claws, the Trex deck I have currently is totally scratched to all hell. Thankfully the buyer has a dog, so she didn't mind, and it didn't cost me anything. He's made pee rings all over the lawn, and I don't feel like I can walk barefoot out there anymore. My house smells like dog despite weekly baths, and he's of course scared of water, so bath time is mostly a war we must wage. I finally told my boyfriend today I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can live with a dog, especially in my new house. This lady is about to throw away a relationship because she just doesn't like dogs. I knew I didn't want to, but it felt very good to say it. It sucks because my boyfriend said he won't let the dog go. That's fine. I'll live in a $500,000 home by myself, and he can rent an effing apartment. That means fucking apartment. She's venting. She's getting very angry, you know. She's making a stand. You know, fuck dogs, and he can live on the goddamn street and get pissed on by homeless people with his dog. I don't care. I'm better alone. I don't know about the status of our relationship. I'm going to tell you it's probably over. He probably saw this psycho side of you. It's honestly been rocky for a bit, but I think it's mostly due to his dog being a constant source of friction. I'm not scared of being single though, so if that ends up being the best for me, I'll do it. I'm just glad I found this sub because sometimes it feels so isolating not liking dogs. Thanks for reading, felt good to write it out. Well, this basket of sunshine here seems pretty rational. There's not liking dogs, and then there's this, throwing away your entire relationship and future plans because of not liking a dog. That's very different. You see, in a relationship, I don't know how many you've been in or if you even know how they work, but not both people are the same person, so they're going to have different likes and dislikes. That's totally normal and natural. There's compromises that you two make together with communication instead of some kind of crazy ultimatum outrage where it was either me or the dog. Get the fuck out of here because I hate dogs. That dog's claws tap on the floor and it makes me fucking mad. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's a different level. That's not disliking dogs, that's you being crazy. That's you having an irrational hatred of an animal. I can finally shout it from the rooftops. I am finally dog free! After 4 years of piss, shit, dirt, filth, grime, dog hair, foul odor, fights with my spouse. Probably not the dog's fault, you're probably just a really shitty significant other if I had to guess, especially with this kind of weird post. Annoyance, rage, resentment, hate, disgust. And holding my tongue more than I ever thought humanly possible, I can finally announce my family and I are dog free! Fuck that piece of shit. I am so done with her. She's gone and she's never coming back. I've been singing and dancing all day. I've already started cleaning and scrubbing her from my life. It's a long process to clean every last piece of shit that has her filth on it, but I started already, and it's so therapeutic. Tomorrow, I'm gonna bleach the whole balcony. I'm so excited. I'm gonna vacuum the house about 10 times and then steam clean it another 2 to 3 times. I'm running the pet dishes through the dishwasher 2 to 3 times. We still have a cat that uses the pet dishes. I've already thrown her kennel out to the dumpster. I just want to scrub every last memory of this shit beast out of my life, and it feels so good to do it. She has caused me nothing but grief every day for the last 4 years. I hate her. I hate her so much. I'm so fucking done with her. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone. I guarantee this person's significant other also made a Reddit post this day saying, I can finally shout it from the rooftops. I am finally free from my crazy fucking significant other, this wacko, this maniac. What a post. And I like that they also admit they still have a cat. Cats literally have a litter box inside of your house full of shit and piss and filth. That is an actual cauldron of filth in your house. At least if you train a dog properly, they will go to the bathroom outside, which is out of your house, which means out of your immediate vicinity. You have all kinds of fucking cat shit particles floating around. I like cats not as much as dogs, but cats have a fucking litter box in your house, so if you're going by just like pure, poop and shit in the house, cats literally do it inside. Dogs do it outside when they're trained. This is probably just the worst dog owner of all time. Judging by this post, I think that can be said with a high level of certainty, just not very competent when it comes to animals. Or relationships, for that matter, since apparently this dog drove a wedge in their actual fucking relationship somehow. I hate seeing dogs on cat-dominated subs. Your shit breed isn't cute. It's always titled, Are Dogs Welcome? And the images of an ugly ass sniffer barely doing whatever the sub is for. The comments are idiots simping like, oh yes, haha, love your pupper, I would let it shit on my front yard, ahaha. I wish these subs would ban dog photos. I'm there to see cute cats, not dogs. If I wanted to see a fucking dog, I would go to drooling wastes of oxygen or some shit. Fuck your stupid dogs, Kimberly. I want to see legitimately cute things on my screen. Yeah, I'd let a cat shit in my house, haha. Like, this is such a dumb argument. Dogs shit outside, cats shit inside. Like, you like cats, but you point out that dogs shit in the front yard. Your cat is literally shitting where you sleep. Again, I like cats, but these arguments are absolutely ridiculous. You're a fucking idiot. Not liking dogs is one thing. Not liking dogs on a cat sub, totally reasonable. But to take it to an extreme, it makes no sense. There's so much on this subreddit. I only shared with you the top posts of the last year because I don't want to get too deep into it. So I just wanted to share the top posts recently for the year. It's crazy. All of them also play this victim card where it's like, we're crucified for not liking dogs. People just can't accept that some people just don't like dogs. No, you fucking lunatic. No one is mad at you for not liking dogs. It's taking it to this crazy extreme where you make it your whole personality trait or the deciding factor in a relationship. That's to an absurd level. It's just so extreme and ridiculous. There was a post on there about this lady who in her Tinder bio changed it to I fucking hate dogs and went into detail about not liking dogs, and she was saying how she doesn't get matches anymore or something like that. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's dogs. It's the fact that you have this crazy hatred for something that you're just so willing to just wear on your sleeve. Like, change that whole thing. Instead of it being like, I fucking hate dogs, change it to something, I fucking hate Pepsi. If you wrote a paragraph about how much you fucking hate Pepsi, people would still look at you the same way and think you're weird. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's dogs. It's the fact with how hard you go in this hatred for it. Like, it's so weird. That's why people often look at you as like a circus act or like something goofy to read and be surprised about. To hate an animal to this level. There's plenty of things to not like about dogs. Sure, some dogs are aggressive. Maybe you had a bad experience with a dog. People have died from dog maulings. Yeah, that's absolutely happened. It's happened with cats as well, which not all, but a lot of them on this subreddit seem to like cats, but it's also happened with cats too. It happens. So there is things to not like about it, so no one really blames you if you're not a huge fan after having an experience or reading something that scared you. But to have this level of fixation on your hatred for an animal is crazy. There's a lot of posts in here where they celebrate when they get dogs taken away from their owners or get their neighbors kicked out for having dogs in a neighborhood. There's a lot of posts about that. Now, some of them actually were pretty decent. Like, there were owners of a dog that weren't treating the dog well, and they got the dog separated from the owner so maybe the dog can find a better home. Those are fine. But then there's other posts cheering them on like, my neighbor's dog barks a lot, so I called the police on him hoping that the dog would get shot by the police. Like, that's the craziness that people look at you and raise an eyebrow at. It's not the fact that you're not a huge fan of dogs. It's to have everything about you be hating dogs is weird. And that's why people find you to be this interesting specimen to read about on Reddit. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya. No one, not even Nostradamus, could have predicted the 2018 season of YouTube drama unfolding the way it has. The Logan Paul drama has transcended just YouTube drama and become actual news, actual drama, which is incredibly surprising. There's petitions being signed by hundreds of thousands of people to get Logan Paul kicked off YouTube. Let me just tell you right now, that's not gonna fucking happen. He makes YouTube far too much money. Your signature on the petition is about as effective as signing your name on some used toilet paper and mailing it to YouTube. It doesn't mean shit. like petitions don't do anything, but I do respect the sentiment, and everyone's saying how this whole thing's gonna end Logan Paul's career. Well, I'll argue the contrary because he's been gaining more subscribers and views now than he has in a very long time. So he's not exactly suffering, but you know who is suffering? The booger-eating children that are vehemently defending their god Logan Paul in the comment section from all of the evil adults that are shitting on him. And these poor heroes are suffering from carpal tunnel and muscle strain and puberty as they fight in the comments for their hero. So let's go ahead, and that's what I wanted to do today, and go through my favorite Logang Knights comments on my Logan Paul video I made recently, because reading these comments from these brainwashed cult fart huffers has been fucking amazing and has given me a real hoot. So let's go over the best ones. Well, I had a ton of pictures of my favorite comments from the prepubescent zombie Logang members that were defending him, but unfortunately, they're not here anymore. So instead, we'll just go over my favorite comments from the last day. You shouldn't criticize Logan. How would you react to a dead body? And you should take down your YouTube channel. Your voice sounds like a dead whale trying to speak. P.S. Logan's hair is beautiful and Logan rules. Fuck you. Well, Megan, how would I react to a dead body? Well, I think I'd react in the same way as any sane person. I wouldn't laugh at it. I wouldn't bring out my camera and start filming it and zooming in on it from all types of different angles like some type of fucking Bollywood action movie. I think what I would do is I'd contact the authorities like any person should do in that situation. I'd then go home and feel absolutely awful for what had happened that day. How would you react to a dead body, Megan? Would you do what Logan Paul did and start filming it and then do everything shy of putting the dead body into a dabbing pose? You're heartless. Well, Nikki, I'm sorry to say that's the wrong form of you're, so I can't take you seriously anymore. However, I do understand what you were trying to say through your horrible grammar. I know they don't teach you that till 4th grade. But even still, I can't let that slide. Also, I like how it's now heartless to criticize the man laughing at a dead body and making light of the situation. That is truly the crime here. He's not a douchebag, so stop making jokes, you headless chicken. Which glass. So you can shut up, dickhead, and you're the horse crap. On the surface, J. Corn Thomas's argument here seems watertight, bulletproof. I mean, there's really nothing I can say here. He fucking nailed me. And he's put it in the most elegant way possible. However, I have to point out, that's the wrong form of you're again. Unbelievable. You knew Logan Paul fans were dumb. You knew Logang was fucking stupid, but did you know they were this stupid? I don't think so. Use the correct form of you're next time, kids. Also, this comment makes me feel old because I don't know what the fuck which glass means. Sounds like some type of old ancient incantation for some type of spell, or maybe Naruto hand signals when you're throwing up ninjutsu signs. Fuck you, the man that's speaking. I hate you. Alright, let's calm down here, Yoda. I think you're acting like a bit of a douchebag in this comment. Logan Paul uses jokes to cope with bad stuff. Fuck you. King Super Destroyer 123. What a fucking name. That's a name that'll strike fear into everyone on the playground. I can already see it going down now, John Wick style. Whose juice box is that, Cody? Whose juice box did you take? Well, it's King Super Destroyer 123's. Jesus Christ, Cody. It's game over. But anyway, they're saying something here that I've seen all the little champions defending Logan Paul saying. It's how he copes with things by making horrible, not clever jokes at the situation. That doesn't really make it okay. That's not a respectful way of coping with things. He should try and learn a new way of going about things. I understand everyone reacts to things different ways, but I think on camera you can be a little bit more respectful and cope with things that way off camera because it portrays the whole situation horribly. You know, what if Logan Paul's way of dealing with situations that were stressful was by jerking off a fat nut? If in this same video he started jerking himself off and coming onto the dead body, but it was just his way of coping with things, would that make it okay? I don't think so. So why should him making jokes at the fucking poor man's expense be acceptable just because it's Logan's way of coping with it? It's fucking silly. It's a horrible excuse. Horrible defense. Oh, and by the way, you're a fucking touch noodle. He's more runner and more awesome than you dick. I clicked on this video to see how you're gonna prove this bullshit, you dumbass clickbait asshole. Well, Chloe, you shitty grammar Neanderthal, you used the wrong form of your twice, outshining your peers. It's amazing. Cannot a single Loganger use the correct form of your, even just by accident one time? God, it's fucking sad. But anyway, I don't know what a touch noodle is. I also don't know why she thinks Logan Paul is a better runner than I am. I think I can probably outrun Logan Paul. In fact, I'm challenging Logan Paul to a race right now. If you don't take me up on it, Logan Paul, you're a fucking pussy. I will outrun this shit out of you. And not only do I think your grammar is objectively shitty and the spelling mistakes make this damn near incomprehensible, I also think you are just dumb by not understanding what half the words you say mean, because the video is not clickbait. The title is Logan Paul laughing at a dead body. If you click on that video, you will see Logan Paul laughing at a dead body. No clickbait there. Hey, you can suck my fucking dick. Fuck you. I will beat the shit out of you. Douchebag McGee. Well, now I have to sleep with one eye open because Justin said boss track sass, whatever the fuck that name is coming for me. Yikes. You heartless stupid piece of crap on the street, Logan Paul. How hypercritical can you be? Well shit, I initially thought this was about me, but reading it back, I think he might be talking to Logan Paul. I don't know why people are trying to have a conversation with Logan Paul in the comments of my video here, but when I first saw this, I thought he was talking about me, but now upon reading it out loud, I'm not too sure. It's really impossible to tell what half of the Logang people are trying to say in the comments, because they're all damn near illiterate, but anyway, I like hypercritical here. I thought that word was great. Now I decided to save the only one that actually had thought put into it for last, so let's read Gavin's here. Dude, STFU, IDKYPPL wanna bring him down. Can you guys just leave him alone and forgive him? And I promise you that he will never ever do that again. I guess this is his mother speaking. He's talking about Logan like he's a dog. I will promise you that Ruffles will never shit on the floor again. This has absolutely kissed me the fuck off. Please stop kissing Gavin off. Can you guys just lecture him and get over it? He won't do it again. If you tell him what he did wrong in the right way, not just fucking call him stupid ass names and hate on him. I'm just saying that if you are going to try and make him realize what he did wrong, then do it in a non-bitch ass way. BCS saying shot about him ain't gonna do anything but make him angry and sad. Maybe if all this hate gets to him and he will kill himself, BCS of depression, ever fucking think of that dumbass bitch? Well, Gavin, can't say I did think of that, because a person like Logan Paul, he will never ever feel anything. He's a sociopath, Gavin, I'm sorry to tell you. But please stop talking about Logan like he's some type of animal you own. You don't know him. You're not his best friend. To Logan, you are just a number on his view count. So anyway, I wanted to show a lot more and a lot better comments that I had been saving images of over the last couple of days, but unfortunately, like I said, I don't have them anymore. So I thought just over the last 24 hours would still be fun. So yeah, that's it. See ya. Now I've seen a lot of people say that I look and sound like a Redditor, which is one of the most insulting things you can ever say about another human being. But what if I force-fed you a hard truth? What if I told you I don't really use Reddit? My narwhal doesn't bacon at midnight. I'll occasionally go on there just to see if there's any breaking news that I might be unaware of, but it's very infrequent. And I never, go into the swamp of a comment section on the platform. Until today. I don't know what possessed me to do this. It must have been some kind of divine moment that just grabbed me by the shoulders and possessed me, told me that I needed to read some comments today, and I am so thankful I did. I stumbled upon true beauty with an argument that could only ever happen on Reddit, that perfectly encapsulates the quintessential Reddit user. In this moment, I am euphoric, thanks to finding this fucking angry Redditor and everyone who engaged with him on this day. It started in the most unsuspecting location, but then again, that's where all good fairy tales begin. In the place you least expect them. So, it was a clip posted from this podcast. Now, the clip doesn't matter. I'm not going to play the clip. I'm sure you probably already recognize the person here. Her name is Bobby. She runs a podcast where she interviews famous celebrities, and her whole shtick is she makes things awkward, which is a very hit or miss format, so it's led to a lot of debate on why is she so popular. Also, is she an industry plant because she seemingly blew up overnight? She landed an interview with Drake while she was still relatively new and not massive, so it just started raising a lot of red flags, and a lot of people started saying it must be an industry plant, and then she started getting even more superstar celebrities. Like this clip is from an interview she did with Lil Yachty, and it's just been a lot of hoopla around her and her content. The only reason I'm even giving you this lore dump is because it is necessary to put into context what started this argument. And it's the entire reason I went into the comment section, really, of this video. You see, Bobby's content is very polarizing. On TikTok, people love Bobby. They're cheering her on, pumping their fist. Go Bobby! Let's get it! Fuck yeah! And then on Twitter, it's boo! "Oh brother, she stinks, get out of town, scram, this is garbage." So two very different responses to her content on two different platforms, but I've never really seen Reddit's opinion on it. I've never seen them weigh in, and curiosity got the best of me. I marched into Mordor, went to the comments in order to get an answer to the question, and most of the comments were pretty negative towards the interview, but there was one comment that spawned a whole series of dominoes to fall. So let's begin our journey. I'm going to blank out their name here. I don't want anyone to go harass anyone involved in this situation. So this individual comes forth and says, "What grown man sits down and watches this bullshit, then have the nerves to repost this garbage to Reddit?" Now this comment received a lot of love, over 400 upvotes, which is nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of high quality karma. Unfortunately, no Reddit Gold, Reddit Platinum, or Reddit Silver was gifted to it, so we weren't blessed with the edit "thanks for the gold, stranger," or anything like that, but still, the community responded very positively to this comment, and most of the comment section here echoed the same sentiment that they didn't really understand the appeal of the clip. Now, all of this doesn't matter. You can wipe your ass with all of this now, because going forward, this comment spiraled into something that had nothing to do with the original post anymore, and it went fucking insano style. Now we're introduced to our primary antagonist of Season 1. So, from out of nowhere, our main character gets challenged. Someone steps in and says, "Lol, you're on the Hot Wheels sub, dude. Weird to take shots at what grown men should be into when your interests include Hot Wheels. Different people like different things. Leave it be." So he goes into the post history of this individual and notices that they are a frequent poster on the Hot Wheels subreddit, and he's using it to take some shots at him to try and showcase, like, "Hey man, you say grown men shouldn't be into that, but I could also say grown men shouldn't be into Hot Wheels. You see how that works?" And he's not wrong. He's coming for the throat here. You could absolutely say the same thing. What grown men would be so into Hot Wheels that they'd go on to Reddit and talk about it all the time? I personally have no problem with that at all, and I don't think this poster does either. He's just using it to make a point. I think whatever hobby you're into, whatever you collect, I think it's great. I think that shit slaps. Having something that you're passionate about that you would collect it, I think is a cool thing. I mean, I have fucking cards framed on my wall from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, right? Like, I get it. But this really struck a nerve with this guy. He responded by saying, "Grown man liking cars? Who would have thought? I see you ignored all the other subs. Maybe I should waste my time on rap and movie subs like all the other low IQ Redditors across the pond." And if you're an astute observer, you'll notice that he's no longer enjoying the luxury of some updoots. The subreddit has turned against him, thrown him to the wolves. He is now being flooded with downvotes. And a downvote is a fate worse than death to a Redditor. It's kryptonite to Superman. The downvotes start hitting him, over 100 downvotes. And I can see why. This feels very insecure to come at him like this. Like, his point was pretty clear, but then he, tries to, I don't know, explain away why it's, really in line with being a grown-ass man because he likes cars. He's like, "Oh, well, yeah, grown men like cars, Hot Wheels are cars, duh. I mean, maybe I should just go to rap and movie subreddits like you low IQ plebeians." It's really, really cringy Reddit behavior now. The bad boy comes back with a tough-to-swallow pill. "Hot Wheels aren't cars, mate. They're toys. Talk about low IQ, haha. You're not better than anybody else, sorry to tell you." To which he responds, "The fact you had to come back and edit that pathetic response, LMAO." And then he just says, "Go play with your vroom vrooms." His collection of downvotes is starting to eclipse his collection of Hot Wheels cars at this point. They just keep pouring in. As you can see, most people are rallying behind the other guy who's just saying, "Brother, they're toys, not real cars." And he's right. He is fluent in facts. He is spittin'. They are not real cars. They are toys. There's nothing wrong with collecting them or liking them, but I don't understand why this goofball is talking about it as if they are real vehicles. He's like, got this bravado going on, like this machismo, like, "Oh yeah, grown men liking cars, who would have thought?" It's Hot Wheels, man. There's still collectible toys that you can play with, and they are made for kids, but there's nothing wrong with liking them or collecting them as an adult. Fucking Pokemon cards are made for kids too. I collect them. Like, there's no shame in it, but you're acting so insecure about it and, like, pretending that it's something that it's not. And he does the classic Reddit 101 when it comes to argument, where he doesn't actually address what was said. He just says, LMAO, edited your pathetic response, big L, basically. Like, his response wasn't pathetic, it was totally fine. You didn't counter it or anything at all. He just made you look foolish, and you continue to make yourself look like even more of a clown here. In response to the vroom vroom comment, he says, I'm changing spark plugs on my 700 horsepower F-150 right now. I will when I get done, though. And now, here enters the sidekick to our main supervillain here, who chimes in and says, you're trying too hard. To which this guy responds, actually, I'm low on boost. If I was trying too hard, I'd be at 950 horsepower range. It doesn't get more Redditor than that. Oh my fucking god. I could feel the fedora tip through the computer screen here. Milady, my horsepower is quite low, actually. It's just, shit, it hurts to read. It really does. The guy's absolutely right. He is trying so hard. I half expected him to go into, like, the Navy SEALs copy pasta. What'd you say to me, you little bitch? I've got 500 confirmed Hot Wheels with 6,000 horsepower and 400 RPM turbo booster NOS accelerators. Like, brother, it's Reddit. You're not Dominic Toretto. You're talking about Hot Wheels. It's not that deep. Even if he was being honest and was changing the spark plugs in his F-150, why would you say that? It just makes you look like such a fucking loser to say that during your heated little scuffle online. It's so cringy. If that's what you were actually doing, keep it to yourself. You don't need to try and, like, prove that you're a man to a stranger on Reddit. All hell breaks loose right now, and the cringe is rated E for everyone, because he starts just lashing out at anybody in the thread. So someone else made a comment, and he went through his post history, I believe, and found that he was on, like, the WWE subreddit. So he calls him out saying, WWE isn't real, bro, sorry to tell you. Maybe you should pick up a real hobby like learning about cars. To which they respond, toys. A slam dunk, he's right. It's all fucking about Hot Wheels so far. So then he comes back and says, yes, I'm not delusional like you, Mr. SmackDown vs. Raw. That's not even an insult. The WWE is extraordinarily popular. Hot Wheels Henry is just really scrapping for any morsel, any crumb of an insult that he can, slap together. And it's not working. It's not. He's fighting like 16 different battles from all fronts here on this comment thread, and he's losing every single one of them. Our boy then goes full armchair psychologist. You actually are ashamed deep down. That's the whole reason you chimed in on my comment. You felt attacked when I said, what grown man watches this? It brought back traumatic memories of you being bullied for liking WWE in this day and age. He's like, no, I commented just because of the toxicity. To which he says, I'd rather have a Hot Wheels collection in my garage next to my turbo truck than have Rey Mysterio and Triple H posters all over my wall. I don't know who's getting bullied for liking the WWE in this day and age. It's extraordinarily popular. Maybe like 10 years ago, but today, no shot. I think he's fighting ghosts with that one. You're much more likely to get bullied for collecting Hot Wheels cars as a grown-ass man. Case in point. Though, he's not actually getting bullied for that because no one really has a problem with what you collect as a hobby. The reason people are making fun of him here in the subreddit is because of his attitude, where he views his hobby as just superior to whatever else everyone's interested in. Oh, you see, no, I actually collect Hot Wheels cars, like a real grown, grizzled, strong, big-muscled man, not this lame garbage. Like, it just sounds like pinky up, high off your own fumes, sniffing your own farts kind of garbage where you view yourself as superior than others just because you think your interests are better. So you're just shitting on everyone else who called it out. Like, no one cares if you collect Hot Wheels cars in your garage and it's right next to your fucking Optimus Prime truck. Yeehaw, that's great. You're just being an asshole about it, which is why people are just making fun of you in the subreddit. His rampage continues, and this time he's pissing on sacred, hallowed ground. He insults RuneScape. He says, you drive a stock car and play RuneScape, I know you're drowning in pussy. He's saying it sarcastically. So he checked the comment history of this guy, saw that he played RuneScape, and he's using it to attack him. which is a wild one. Like, yeah, RuneScape's got some, less than stellar things about it, but there's nothing wrong with RuneScape at all. It's still an extremely popular MMO that is well loved to this day. And the guy's like, I don't understand how a dude who plays with toy cars thinks he's above people on movie and rap subreddits and people who play RuneScape. We're all on the same site getting in our respective nerdy communities. What makes toy cars better than talking about media or playing a game? Which is fair. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And then he just goes, you don't understand because you can't even turn a wrench on your own car. Of course, a mechanic is going to be into Hot Wheels considering he works around cars all day. Do you need me to further break it down for you to understand? Oh, just that aura of insecure loser is very potent. It's like in Bleach when they first meet Kenpachi and his spiritual pressure is so strong that it just glues people to the ground, they can't even stand up. That's what his loser aura is doing to me right now. It's rough. Why do you feel the need to defend your hobby when no one's actually attacking that? They're attacking your behavior, where you think what you do is better than everyone else and can't understand that different people are going to like different things and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the only thing people are picking apart. That's what started this whole thing. You were saying, who watches this garbage? What grown man would do this? And one other guy was like, hey, you're a grown man who plays with Hot Wheels. You understand? Like, different people like different things. It could have been so easy to just meet in the middle, shake hands, and be like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, this wasn't for me. Just like Hot Wheels collecting, maybe not for you. But he just refuses to accept that reality. Instead, he's just going, no, you don't understand because you can't turn a wrench in your own car. He just keeps diving in on things other people like. Do you just really call RuneScape a fun multiplayer game? Responding to someone saying that it was a fun game, there's nothing wrong with it. You're not playing COD, dude. You're playing a game that's synonymous with virgin weirdos like yourself. Deaf embarrassing. He's just trying way too hard. I can feel the tears in his eyes as he types these comebacks. Now, up until this point, I had a big smile on my face reading these for the first time, but when I read his next response here, I let out an audible gasp. So the guy, once again, is still going in about RuneScape, like, it's just an MMO, whatever, you're being a judgmental prick, and can't handle it when people roast you back. So you start combing through comment histories, massive Redditor mindset. And his response is, I can definitely handle it, LMAO. I just shit on 10 different no-lifes, including you, that wanted to be relevant. There's multiple comments saying who watches this, but of course you want to reply to mine for the free clout and upvotes from the Fem girls. I don't even know what fantasy land this guy's in. He just went into Narnia, and he's not coming back, I guess. We've lost him for good in delusion. Farming the free clout from a Reddit comment section? What clout? And where did the Fem girls come from? And I don't understand. There's so many layers to this onion, I don't even know where to begin with picking it apart. So, first of all, he can't handle anyone roasting him back. He has showcased that very beautifully. He's had a full-blown conniption over this. He did not shit on 10 different people. He just made a fool of himself in response to 10 different people. And he says that they just wanted to be relevant. So I'm guessing this guy has a huge ego, and he thinks that he's some kind of Reddit power user, perhaps? Like, his karma speaks for itself, right? Like, this is a big guy. And you guys are only responding to him because they're trying to suckle some clout from his teats, his big, ample bosom of relevancy. It's wild. It's so wild to me. So I went to his account because I did a double take. Is this like a big Reddit user? No, he's not. Like, I don't know what like the highest upper echelon of Reddit karma farming is, like the biggest karma accounts, but his is not very high. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. But even if it was, if he's the number one Reddit poster, there is no such thing as Reddit clout for commenters. That doesn't exist. Like, Reddit is the only social media platform where if you're extremely active, the number one account on Reddit, it doesn't do dick for you. It does less than nothing for you. If you get Twitter famous, you can at least turn that into some kind of like sponsorship revenue or lead people to other platforms to maybe follow you. Now you can even make direct ad revenue from engagement, I guess. TikTok, obviously, you can make a whole career out of. Even Facebook, obviously, YouTube, Twitch, every other social media platform, if you are a power user of it and get like a big audience on there, you can make a whole career out of it. Reddit, if you dedicate your life to being a Reddit power user, all you do is get laughed at. That's your big reward. you get insulted for wasting your time. It is the only social media platform where you cannot make a career out of being a power user of it. So even if he was the #1 user on here, it wouldn't matter. And there's no clout that anyone would be able to get from this exchange. This was just one of the most bafflingly out of touch comments I think I've ever read on that platform. Now, another Redditor came in and said, "No way you just said free clout when referring to Reddit comments," also stunned by the statement, and he double responds here saying, "Your plan worked, dude. You got all the femboys wanting to suck you off. And since we're on Reddit, I'll just go ahead and do it. You used the wrong form of your, actually." And then his next response is, "Y'all should become friends and play together. Y'all would fit in perfectly with the rest of the RuneScape community." I'm at a loss for words. This is kind of where the whole thing ends. And man, what a banger of an exchange it was. It's just such an adventure. All starting from someone mentioning his Hot Wheels hobby. And look at where we ended up, huh? Look at us now. Who would have thought? This is a wacky argument. Probably my favorite Reddit argument that I've got to actually find for myself. I got to come into this in the wild. I didn't get linked to this. No one told me about this. I just happened to be perusing the comment section and then saw this argument unfold. And I got to go on an unexpected journey with it. And I really just had to share it. I had to. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Minecraft Twitter, what's up with that, huh? Wacky, goofy shit going on there. This is probably the millionth video talking about Minecraft stands on YouTube, but I wanted to kind of talk about something that just happened that's kind of got my ass greased up a little bit. Now, I'll just break it all down for you, give you the full lore update, although I'm sure most of you know. On Twitter, one of the biggest, most toxic communities is the Minecraft stan community, with people that are extremely obsessed with Minecraft content creators on the internet. And this community eats itself alive. This shit is actual cannibalism. If you see a Minecraft stan on Twitter, just assume that they've tasted human flesh before. They're like little piranhas or catfish, just constantly eating shit for no reason. They just go out of their way to make themselves as miserable as possible and find things to be upset about. And it's usually the things they love the most. They absolutely murder the content creators that they're obsessed with. If anything goes even slightly awry with the perfect image they have of their Minecraft YouTuber, they lose their fucking mind about it and go on absolute Twitter rampages and trend everything about it. So recently this happened with Tommy Innit. Tommy Innit, very popular Minecraft player. He's a 17-year-old kid. And these bloodthirsty warriors on Twitter recently blasted him multiple times over the course of a couple days, and then he finally made an announcement saying that it's just been too much for his mental health and he's having to go to therapy now and doesn't really want to engage online anymore, which is pretty extreme considering he's a 17-year-old kid. So they successfully bullied a child for nothing. With backlash like this, you would have expected it to be something extreme that caused it, like a video of Tommy slitting the throat of a puppy, or Tommy doing something crazy like saying he doesn't like BTS music. But it wasn't anything like that. He got all of this shit happening to him for a very lighthearted joke, which we'll get to in a minute. But I want to explain, he's not just going to like up and quit the internet as far as I know. It's just mainly targeted towards Twitter. He no longer wants to be there, which is completely understandable. Twitter is the most miserable place on the planet. It'd be more fun to live in an active war zone than it would be to spend an hour on Twitter. Truly vile garbage with absolute trash people on that platform. And I want to explain one more time just how ridiculous the Minecraft stands can be. There's entire pages dedicated to just keeping track of what Minecraft YouTubers are listening to on Spotify at all hours of the day. So when it gets to a song they like, they can make 50 tweets about how excited they are that their favorite Minecraft YouTuber is listening to it. It's extremely unhealthy. And then they'll turn around and go from this, the worship, to absolute hatred and vilifying them and calling their favorite Minecrafter a demon and a Satanist, a racist, a homophobe, all kinds of truly deplorable titles that they'll just immediately snap onto them. Just absolutely wild stuff. It's extremely sad to see. One of the saddest things though in particular, and this doesn't really have anything to do with the current situation, for a while there was a trend among Tommy Innit stans and Tubbo stans to sexualize both of them and make them have like romantic fanfic together, despite both of them being underage. So it's really bad stuff that has come from these stands. Of course, not all of them are like this, nor are they all horrible people or anything like that. I'm not trying to make just a pure generalization, but it has led to so many horrible things for the content creators and really Twitter as a whole. Pretty much anytime anything happens with a Minecrafter, it trends #1, blocking out actual important things in the world. So it really is truly just an overall detriment to have this level of celebrity worship be commonplace and normalized on Twitter. I really think parents need to do a better job of raising their children and monitor their online activities, because what's happening is these YouTubers are unintentionally raising a whole generation of kids. And if it's not the YouTubers doing it, it's the children in the fandom raising other children on Twitter to join the fandom like a fucking cult. It's like Lord of the Flies shit with children raising each other, which is why you're having things like this happen. So let's get to the Tommy Innit situation that brought all this up. And it really wasn't just like one thing in particular, but it really started when Tommy made a joke about Jay Schlatt. The tweet's been deleted and I actually can't find a screenshot of it, but basically he replied to a tweet saying like, Jay Schlatt's a bad guy, mockingly. And then the Minecraft stands got really upset about this, so they trended something called Tommy Neg, meaning Tommy negative, so it was just them shitting all over Tommy to make it trend, so you could just see nothing but shit on Tommy, because they didn't like that he was making light about Jay Schlatt. Jay Schlatt is apparently a very problematic figure in the Minecraft community. I don't know what the fuck he did, but it sounds like he must have beat up everyone's dad and then fucked all of their moms in that community. They hate him. They have labeled him every awful thing that you can possibly think of, from a racist to a homophobe to a Nazi to a transphobe. All of it has been slapped onto Jay Schlatt. I have no idea what the fuck went on there, but then the community got riled up and they were trying to cancel Tommy because of his friendship with Jay Schlatt. Basically, what stans want is complete control over their favorite Minecraft creator. They want to treat him like a fucking doll or an action figure that they can move around and do what they want. Like, they're the puppeteers and they're the marionette dancing on the strings for him. So they wanted him to end his friendship. They were talking about how hurt they were by Tommy. I swear to God, if they found out Tommy's mom made an offensive joke in the late 80s, they would demand Tommy kill her in order to earn their forgiveness. It is wild how much control they want over the Minecraft content creators. I honestly don't know how more of them haven't snapped at the stands, and how some of them even encourage the behavior. They get eaten alive by it. They're literally encouraging a swarm of locusts that peel their fucking flesh off at the drop of a hat over nothing. I don't know why it isn't taking a firmer stance. I understand there's not a whole lot of things you can do, and I know a lot of them do try and be responsible with the stands and like the power of it and try and point out bad behavior. But I think just a blanket statement, just completely fucking stop standing, you know, just block every stand or something, like I don't know. But it's only with Minecraft. MrBeast is 3 times the size of even the biggest Minecraft player, and he has none of this shit. MrBeast community is like the nicest on the internet. They're constantly uplifting each other, aside from the people that try and scam, but I mean, that's always going to happen. I mean, especially nowadays with like NFTs and shit, you can't do too much about that. But MrBeast community is significantly larger than any Minecraft community, and you don't see any of this from them, so there's clearly a way of doing it. It's just, I can tell you the way they're currently going about it, which is like encouraging it and like nodding at it, like, hey, maybe trend this on Twitter, is the wrong way of doing it. Because then you'll have shit like this happen, where a good guy like Tommy gets fucked in the ass by the community. It's crazy. But again, I'm getting sidetracked. This is actually a pretty passionate topic for me, because it's so unhealthy both for the Minecraft player and the people that obsess over him. It's not good for any of the parties involved here at all. They're both constantly like a parasitic relationship and constantly miserable because of it. But anyway, so after this whole Twitter debacle with the Jay Schlatt joke, Tommy had a stream. And in the stream, the chat went nuts. In the stream, he asked the community to educate him on some things and just shed some light on some topics he wanted more information about. The chat was constantly calling him homophobic, questioning why he wasn't more politically active, as if that's his responsibility to be a fucking political activist for you. He's a Minecraft player. He doesn't need to, also go with your exact ideals on how things should be in the world. Tommy has done everything he can to go out of his way to be as inclusive as possible to everyone from every community. I think he's an actual really good guy. And to be completely shit on, even though he's done so much for so many people, is just absolutely repugnant. The chat from some of the shit I've seen was awful. And during the stream, that's when he mentioned that the bullying on Twitter's just gotten too bad and he's getting therapy now as a way of coping with it and getting over it to try and be a happier person in light of all of this shit. And to no one's surprise, Twitter didn't lay off the gas. In fact, they used this against him, mocking him for getting therapy. Some of them even saying he has no right to get therapy. He's not a victim. The people he hurt with his friendship are the victims, and the jokes that he's made, those are the victims, not Tommy, so he doesn't deserve therapy. I wish I could find some of these tweets that I was reading, but unfortunately a lot of these cowards deleted them now after more people became aware of this awful situation they created. But it is really some of the worst things you can imagine from a community that's supposed to be all positive and all about educating Tommy on how to be a better person when they themselves are horrible people. Horrible people, the things I was reading. And then the weirdest thing is, like, I'll click on some of these and then I'll read some of their tweets and it's absolutely awful. It's just hateful. Like, on this one in particular, there's this tweet. I don't know if this is a joke or not, but even if it is, then you're an absolute hypocrite because you're mad at Tommy for jokes that are insensitive and then you'll say something like this. And that's okay. You even use a homophobic slur. And apparently that's okay for you to do. Like, I don't get it. It's like these Minecraft police officers, professional Twitter warriors, are actually not that great of people themselves. As always, don't go harass anyone in the video or anyone that participated in any of this. Don't do that shit. That makes you just as bad, if not worse, than the people that actually participated, so just fucking don't. And this isn't the only account like this. This isn't the most popular tweet, obviously, from all of that. In fact, this one, I think, only ever got up to like 2K likes before it was deleted, or if it even got deleted. I just can't find it now. All I could find was this old screenshot of it. But there were multiple accounts where you'd click on it and you'd see some truly awful vitriol where they were just spewing some genuine hateful shit. The things that they were saying they didn't like, you know, trying to spread positivity, and then you go on their actual Twitter and it's nothing but hate and negativity. Just all around, this shit made me really mad today. Like I said, I think Tommy's a good kid. I think he had a lot of success at a very young age, and I don't think he let it get to him. Like, I feel like he's not going to become a douchebag or anything, even though he's already a multi-millionaire with a following of like tens of millions of people constantly worshiping him. He's still able to stay level-headed. And he recognizes that Twitter's a horrible fucking place, and they bullied him off of it, and now are mad that he's off of it. So when he left Twitter, or at least said that he wasn't going to be as active on it, Twitter fucking attacked him for that, immediately proving why he didn't want to be there anymore. Like, it's a community of people that just love to hate, and that's all they like to do. It's people that always want a constant enemy, a villain to attack. And for some reason, they choose their heroes to do it to. It makes no sense to me. This happens to Dream once a week at least. And it's happened to other Minecraft players as well. It's just crazy to me. And it's really upsetting to see it, to be honest. I think there needs to be like an age limit on Twitter, man. Like, you shouldn't be allowed on Twitter if you're under the age of 18. Because it is just not healthy for anybody letting kids on that platform. It is just fucking not. It's bad for everyone's mental health. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about this whole thing because this one just fucking blew me away. And that's about it. So yeah. No one likes Twitter. Twitter is trash. We all know this. It's not a hot take, and it's not exactly brave. No one's going to sit there and, like, applaud me like, hey, Charlie's really finally saying what everyone else is too afraid to say. No. Everyone knows Twitter is probably the worst social media platform to ever exist. The more you engage with Twitter, the more likely you are to throw yourself into an oncoming train. But just like everyone else, I become a little zombie and check Twitter every now and then just to scroll through and see what's going on in the world and the people around me, what's going on with all of them. Twitter's a lot like my asshole. It's stinky and full of shit, but I can't help but play with it sometimes. And this morning I got up and I checked Twitter, and something just immediately made my day worse for having read it. Twitter is the real-life equivalent of the chapter black tape from Yu Yu Hakusho. This is an obscure turbo weeb shit reference, but in Yu Yu Hakusho, there's something called the chapter black tape, which is just a collection of all of humanity's most horrifying moments. Just this phase montage of like war crimes and horrible, horrible shit. And when someone watches that tape, they begin to hate humanity and are convinced that they're not worth saving, that humanity doesn't deserve to survive. That's what Twitter is. But instead of like showing you horrifying crimes, it shows you horrifying takes and convinces you that the world is too stupid and humanity's not worth saving because we're too fucking dumb. This is the tweet that really greased my ass first thing this morning that I want to talk about. Hot take, but I feel once you've reached this level of wealth, maybe you should be using said wealth to benefit the impoverished and not use it to recreate a show that is a direct critique of the exact thing being done here, but hey, that's just me. This is in reference to MrBeast and his upcoming Squid Game video. This is not a hot take, this is a dumb take. This is what scientists call posting cringe on Maine. This is a stupid fucking statement. Squid Game, the actual show, costs $21.4 million to make. That money could have been used to help the impoverished in the community, but it wasn't. It was used for entertainment. Interesting. It decides to critique society while also participating in it. Very curious. It's critiquing something that it is directly benefiting from. Interesting. Why didn't they point that out in this tweet? The $21 million for Squid Game, the show, is a lot more than the $2 million MrBeast is spending. Why didn't they mention that? It's weird that they focused on MrBeast, who is well known for helping a lot of people through his videos and the money those videos make. What's interesting is, the Squid Game money and all that's generated for Netflix will never go to helping people, but MrBeast making this Squid Game video and the money that will make will directly go to food banks that MrBeast owns and helps people with. So they chose someone who is literally going to be helping people with the money the Squid Game makes, instead of the Squid Game itself, which was 10 times what MrBeast spent and will never help anyone in the community. And I'm not saying the Squid Game team has that obligation and they have to use the money in that way. I'm not here to control how they spend their money, but Twitter certainly is. This user seems to think it's MrBeast's responsibility to use his wealth in the Squid Game cost to help the community around him, but why isn't that responsibility also shared by the much more expensive actual Squid Game? It's also just a dumb nothing burger of a statement that can be used for literally anything ever. It boils down to MrBeast spent a lot of money on this video, which could have been used as a donation. You can say that for movies. Why do we even have movies when the money spent making those movies could have been used for a donation instead? Why do we have music when the millions spent producing those albums could have been used as a donation instead? The user that posted this might be married. Why did you spend $10,000 on a wedding ring when that could have been used as a donation instead? You don't need a $10,000 rock to prove you love someone. Why not just donate that money? It's just something that is silly and can be said for everything. Targeted at one of the only wealthy people in general who are constantly helping the community and people around him. I made a video recently talking about MrBeast. I'm not his fucking PR manager, but he's one of the only genuine wealthy people that are constantly doing everything they can to help other people. You only have to scroll 3 tweets on his Twitter to see this massive food drive he just did to help the impoverished and people around him. But I'm going to go ahead and again focus on the stuff he does off camera real quick, because a lot of people critique MrBeast saying he's only doing this for attention and views. They can't wrap their head around the idea that maybe he actually just likes to help people, so they just try and attack this made up idea of who he is. He's only doing it for views and attention. I'm again going to focus on his off camera stuff. I got to see that massive food warehouse, and that food warehouse also has a massive refrigeration unit that allows them to do more than just non-perishable canned goods. It allows them to do vegetables and cold products as well, and it's an extremely rare thing to have because it costs so much. But MrBeast went the extra mile with his food bank because he wanted it to be able to serve his community in the best possible way. And this is like a full-time job that he has, running that food bank. He also has that MrBeast's philanthropy channel. I sound like a fucking advertisement for this guy, but I really suck his dick hard because he is exactly the kind of wealthy person people have been begging for, and he's still getting shit for it. That MrBeast philanthropy channel, 100% of the revenue that makes and the brand deals all go into that food bank, which is serving his community. He is doing like millions of pounds worth of food to his community every month, and he is running this every single day, and he is still getting steamrolled by 12-year-olds on Twitter as if he's not doing enough. All of this being done off camera, and no matter what, it's a lose-lose situation on Twitter. If MrBeast shows these things, then people attack him for being a fake, he's a fraud, he's only doing it for attention and views, and if he doesn't show these things, well then they don't exist and everyone's lying, he's making it up. No matter what you do on Twitter, it is a lose-lose situation where no one will be pleased. Twitter's a platform that is only there to be negative, bully, and shit on things no matter what, because that's the most engagement. That huge fucking dopamine hit of the extra 5 hearts on your shit just makes that cock rock hard, baby. That's what makes me so mad on Twitter, is that no matter what you do, it's never enough, because Twitter's a platform that is just made to reward shitty takes and dunking on people, even when it's just completely wrong and misguided. people are just there on Twitter to bully each other, and they try and like out-perfect each other. So they use this idea of perfection, like in this take. If I had this millions of dollars, I would obviously be donating it to the impoverished, but I don't, so I'm not responsible to help anyone. It's MrBeast's problem, time to dunk on him. Now let me spread these cheeks a little bit further and dive in. The user who posted this awful take has 16,000 tweets on their account. That's a lot. I have like 300 hours total on Twitter scrolling, and I only have 2,500 tweets. So let's just go ahead and be really generous and say they have doubled the amount of time I've spent on Twitter. So they have 600 hours worth of Twitter scrolling. There's so much more you can do to help the community than just donate money. You could have spent that 600 hours volunteering at a shelter, helping out at your local food bank. You know, you could have donated your time to helping your community, but you didn't. You chose to whine and complain on Twitter for 600 hours. Why is it only MrBeast's responsibility to help the community? Don't you also have that obligation? You're choosing not to, and I'm very disappointed. You're taking this road, and it's not just this person. I'm singling them out because this is the tweet that really, it tilted me a bit. It had me fucking inting down mid lane. Like, it was actually pretty upsetting to read. Everyone wants a wealthy person who's extremely generous to the community and doing things to help the community. And we have that with MrBeast, and he is still getting shit for it. Blows my mind. But anyway, this user is not the only one that thinks this way. They all cast this facade that they are perfect. And if they were only rich, they would save humanity. But the thing is, they're not doing anything currently to show that. This user, who is getting upset at MrBeast for not doing enough, is also doing nothing. Even though there's so much more they can do than just donating money. Like I said, there is so much you can do that isn't just financial to help the community, and they're not doing it. So why the fuck are they gonna get mad at MrBeast, who is doing both time and money constantly for the community? He is not just blindly throwing money at charities that do nothing. He is making his own organizations that are extremely efficient at it. Like, what more could you possibly want? He is doing it full time, off camera, because he is genuinely just trying to help people. And he is still getting blasted on Twitter because he spent a lot of money on a Squid Game video, where the money from that Squid Game video will most likely directly go into his philanthropy, which will in turn help a lot of people, and still getting shit for it. Twitter is a platform that just keeps you stupid and makes you dumber every time you log on to it. Everything has to be negative, even when it's like a genuinely positive situation, for no fucking reason other than just some cheap engagement and internet updoots. This was a horrible take, and so many people retweeted it, commented on it like, yes, preach, this is what I've been saying. Just donate the money instead of make a video out of it. Come on. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They could say that for everything. Instead of making movies, why not just donate all the money that the movies would have cost? There's a pretty big brain idea. Why not just do that? Why don't musical artists just donate all of the money their concerts make to charitable organizations instead of spending money on terrible art to put in their home? That's a genuinely good question. The art that they buy is terrible. You might as well just get rid of that money instead of spend it on fucking Damien Hirst pieces. Point is, it's a stupid take. Like, this was a dumb tweet that a lot of people agree with, and I see this kind of thing all the time. And it's especially silly when it targets someone who is actually doing all of the things Twitter wishes people would do. MrBeast does everything that Twitter wants other rich people to do, and it's still not good enough for them. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because Twitter is and always will be and always has been an absolute dog shit platform. That's about it. So yeah. There's no worse feeling than when you engage in an internet argument with some anonymous asshole, and then it turns out that that asshole is extremely talented. Today I have a very sad story to share with you where the villain gets the last laugh. Real life isn't like anime, where the good guys always win. Sometimes the bully comes and puts your head in the toilet and flushes. So it all starts with this video. A YouTuber posts their best performance of an impossible piece of music called Rush E. Now obviously I'm a fucking Neanderthal when it comes to piano. I don't know anything about any major pieces except from like your big ones like Mozart and Bach. So I had never heard of Rush E before, so I did a little research. Rush E was actually a song created as a meme that is quite literally impossible for any human being to play. And I don't mean that as like it's extremely difficult, I mean it is genuinely impossible. You would need 15 fucking arms, and even then you would struggle. Let me go ahead and show you where it started, the genesis of Rush E. If any human being actually performed this song as written here, it would probably end the world on the spot, or bring about the heat death of the entire universe. It would signal Armageddon. It is quite literally an impossible piece of music that was made to be a joke. However, some piano players on YouTube tried their best to kind of change it around a little bit, mess with the arrangement in order to make it almost possible to play on the piano, which is the video I just showed you there, which is giving a very spirited attempt at making it happen. And I thought it was very good. Of course, I'm not a piano expert by any means, but most people that watched it also agreed that it was extremely impressive what he was able to do. And this spawned an argument in the YouTube comments. YouTube comments are the cesspool of the internet. It is absolutely fucking deplorable down there very often. But in this comment section, it was overwhelmingly positive. But just like everywhere on the internet, there has to be that douchebag that comes in and shits on everyone's fun, just ruins the entire positive atmosphere of everything. They drop their pants and goatsy themselves and just makes everyone feel worse. Their presence making everything more negative. Keep in mind, this piece is literally impossible to play. You saw it. It looked like a Toho bullet hell game. But that didn't stop some enlightened Redditor from demanding perfection. It actually comes from this comment, which is a very nice comment from a guy named Just a Guy Who Likes Hentai. He says, "How can you dislike this? I don't see anyone else actually playing this." You know, that's just a very wholesome thing. Like, you know, this is so good, I can't imagine someone not liking it. It's just being nice, you know? Obviously, there's going to be people that don't like it, but it's just a very encouraging comment. But it summoned a demon. A piano-playing demon named Fanshin. Fanshin replies to that comment saying, "Probably because it was mediocre, no offense." Yeah, no offense, buddy, but you just fucking suck and you should be embarrassed that you posted this video. It actually made me physically ill. I puked and was so offended by your awful mediocre playing that I broke up with my own girlfriend in protest. This isn't constructive criticism. I saw a lot of people defending this saying he was just offering criticism or answering the question. No, he's just being an asshole. There's nothing constructive about this. You just saying that it's not good without saying like where they could improve isn't really constructive criticism. It's just you being a douchebag. And obviously he wasn't genuinely answering the question in the comment of how can anyone dislike this, because it wasn't a real question. It was just an encouraging statement. It's like when you get told a story like, "Can you believe my parents got divorced?" And then your friend responds with, "Yeah, I can, because your parents are fucking selfish sluts." It's like, well, I wasn't actually asking you if you can believe it, you know? It's not like a real question. It was just a supportive comment. So there's really no justifying being a douchebag here other than just being a dick. So then the guy responds saying, "Was it? I'd like to see you try. So come on, give us an awe-inspiring performance." Spoiler alert, he would soon regret issuing this challenge. Fanshin responds, "Oh boy, you will embarrass yourself. I'll show you what a good performance of this piece sounds like." To which the hentai fan says, "Then do it, stop talking, and do it." Now, 10 times out of 10 on the internet, when some anonymous asshole makes statements like this, you don't expect them to follow through on it, and even less often you will expect them to be good at anything. But this is the exception. This is the anomaly. This is probably the first time in history someone has actually followed through on a statement like this and actually been good at it. Fanshin responds saying, "Maybe you can pay me, then I'll be motivated, LMFAO. He's pretty arrogant and pompous," to which Hentai responds, "So being known as a jealous, contrarian liar until you post your own rendition isn't a good enough motivation for you? Sorry, but that's all you're gonna get." And then Fanshin again, he's twirling that cartoonishly evil mustache and says, "Haha, sure, why not? Fun summer project. Maybe I'll get more views." And then other people kind of come in here and tell him to shut up. They don't really like his negative attitude. The comment section starts to gain a little bit of infamy, so more people come in with the popcorn to watch from the sidelines. You can see the war has erupted, now we're watching the commenters fight. Another challenge was issued saying upload something by Scott, that guy, other than MLR or Entertainer. Again, I'm not familiar with piano pieces, so I don't even know what that challenge is. I'm assuming it's difficult. And then eventually Fanchin comes back and says, wouldn't have the confidence to upload a performance that I'm not pleased with, but yes, props to the guy for attempting it. It's just this could have been played with much more accuracy had he spent more time polishing, which is something I will show. It's pretty much learned a tempo, but I'm striving for consistency and clarity. So he finally gives like almost a constructive criticism there, and then he gives his rendition of this piece. And unfortunately, it fucking slaps. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the hentai guy deleted his channel after that. I mean, it's unlucky that the guy that he was arguing with was the only person on the internet who happens to talk shit anonymously and be able to back it up with real talent. You really hate to see that. You hate to see an anonymous internet asshole turn out to be really good at something. That's a horrible feeling. I know when he watched this video, like when he dropped the video, he was probably still so confident, like, yeah, this is gonna fucking blow. And then he started listening, and as his erection grew, he felt more and more shame. Hentai guy was just sitting there stewing in anger, like, fuck, he's actually good. Damn you, curses! Because, I mean, that's how I felt, and I wasn't even involved in the argument. But I think this also illustrates an extremely important point. No matter how talented you are, it can be overshadowed by a shitty attitude. A lot of the comments here, and even in the Reddit thread, were just kind of saying the same meme of pretty mediocre, no offense. Like, not even respecting his very clear talent, because they don't like him. If you're insufferable and unlikable, people aren't going to respect your skill. And I think that's... Now, granted, it's not everyone, because the video is still overwhelmingly liked, but it could have been a truly positive experience had he just gone about it in a much better way. Like, you know, this wasn't the best rendition of the song, but I do appreciate the effort that went into it, and in fact, it inspired me to want to learn it myself. And then he drops this video, and then, you know, that's a lot better, I think, and you'd have more people on your side, as opposed to just people brushing off your extreme level of talent here because you were an asshole in the comments to someone that was just proud of their own rendition of the piece. Like, his arrangement of this is like a custom arrangement, obviously, because you can't play it as written. His arrangement is extremely solid, and his performance is unreal. Like, absolutely unreal. And to have that just thrown to the side because he was super unlikable is a real shame, I think. So, I mean, this was a pretty wild experience because I've never seen this before. Like I said, 10 times out of 10, when you're arguing with someone on the internet anonymously, that person behind the keyboard's usually a coward that doesn't really have a lot going for them. But in this really rare instance, that anonymous guy was a fucking piano prodigy. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you all. That's about it. See ya. This is the most hostile comment section on YouTube, and I feel like I can say with a high degree of certainty that this is the longest argument ever in a YouTube comment section, lasting an entire year and spanning roughly 500 some replies. Now, with this kind of anger, you would expect the video to be some kind of politically charged video, or maybe somebody said anime should be illegal or that lollies are a crime, something that really puts a hate boner where someone's flaccid cock once was. But what if I told you that the video that all of this is taking place on, the most aggressive comment thread on YouTube, was actually on a Paper Mario song? I'm going to take you on a journey through this war zone here. We're not going to read every reply just because there is so many. This thing's longer than the fucking Bible, honestly. But we're going to go through the big parts, the big moments here in the manga, make sure we get the gist of what's going on, because this may be one of the greatest stories ever told. It's got it all. It's got a little something for everyone. A story of betrayal, violence, love, terrorism, action, drama, mystery, and most of all, Mario. Chapter 1, The Catalyst. This is where it all begins. This is ground zero. Lunar1314 leaves a comment saying, I don't care if I get hate because of this opinion, but this is my favorite Paper Mario final boss song. A bold and brave hot take. Someone didn't tell Lunar that opinions are illegal on the internet. It's not the most controversial thing to say, it's simply a matter of liking a song. But this is the internet, and you can't like something that somebody else doesn't like. A lesson our boy Lunar here is about to learn the hard way. Enter the villain, Aramaru1837, because you're like 9, haven't even played the other games, I guarantee you. And now, just like the Powerpuff Girls when the hotline rings, our hero rolls in, Dave Matthew. These are our primary characters. Of course, we get introduced to other important side characters throughout the season here. The lore gets very deep, trust me. But this is basically the Batman and the Joker, Dave and Aramaru. Dave sweeps in defense of Lunar. How about we agree that you are a jerk? Everyone can have their own opinion, and that is the internet, so no one cares about your opinion to begin with. Also, instead of throwing insults at me, why don't you try to get me to see things from your perspective? It would be a lot more time efficient and, unlike insults, actually accomplishes something in the long run. Or you can continue to assume that I am a mere child that does not know of the 5 other Paper Mario games, or was it 4? Or has even played them, both opinions being completely wrong. But as I said, it's the internet. We can go in circles all day and night and neither of us would get anywhere. So let's not, okay? Dave trying to get out ahead here and squash the beef, giving a fair warning to Aramaru that you do not want to fuck with Dave, but spoiler alert, Aramaru pokes the sleeping bear. You never gave your side, dumb fuck. All you did was come on here talking about some damn opinions or some shit. Pretty clear you didn't intend to accomplish anything. Also, you haven't played any other game, have you? It's not hard to know how many Paper Mario games there are, kid. 64, Thousand Year Door, Super Paper Mario, this garbage, and Color Splash, which was actually not bad, but was too weird gameplay-wise to be called a Paper Mario game. And it's this comment right here that makes a good boy go bad. You do not question Dave Matthews' understanding of the Paper Mario franchise, and you do not do it on a public forum like this, and be an asshole about it. The opinion haver that started all of this comes back in here, kicks open the doors to the Church of Paper Mario with tears in his eyes like he just watched his parents having a fight, saying, all I said was, this is my favorite final boss song in the Paper Mario series, but it turned into a huge fight and I don't understand that. And then Aramaru hits him with a hard dose of reality. You said you don't care if you get hate, so obviously you do understand, dumb fuck. Unfortunately, Lunar just doesn't understand that his initial comment was like the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, and now he's started a massive war. And in war, Lunar, there's casualties. I know you can say whatever you want, but please, can you please calm down and make a nice comment to people? Like I said, please not say about 1,000 cuss words with this reply, please. It's not hurting you to read a quick fuck. Look, I'm understanding everything you're saying. I'm just here to calm you down. Not everything in the world is solved by anger. Jedi Brooklyn Green comes in here and tries to reason with Sith Lord Aramaru here about how anger's not the key, but it's all for nothing because Aramaru has already been consumed by his anger. Like I said, I am cutting out a couple things here because there is so much of it. It'd be like a 10-hour video if I read the entire chain. Basically, in a nutshell, Dave was saying this is pointless, it's an internet argument, let's just drop this. And he concludes his monologue with, well, since we both agree that this whole thing is pointless, let us just agree to disagree and be on our way then. Aramaru, cool, so fuck off. Peace was never an option. Nah, seeing your pointless insults because you can't come up with an actual comeback to my remarks is rather funny to me. Heh, I thrive off your pointless rage. Thought it was done. Why you still here, idiot? As I said, I thrive off your rage and anger. You want me to stop? Stop being angry. Easy. Dave Matthews is slowly accumulating power like a spirit bomb fueled by Aramaru's rage. He is laughing in the face of Aramaru's anger. Not angry, dumb fuck. Piss off. See? Angry. Not angry, dumb fuck. Piss piss off. I see that you're running out of comebacks. I can give you a few if you need them. Dave, of course, being one of the world's leading comeback dealers. Not stressful, you're just annoying, lol. And there's plenty of music better than this shit, even from Color Splash. Uh-huh. Why don't you go back to your 1,000-year-old game and super overrated Paper Mario game? Your screen, oh boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest viol— Oh wait, I broke it. If this was done, why did you reply? Metal Mario coming in here just spitting straight venom in the face of Aramaru here, lighting him on fire with the world's smallest violin comment. Nice try, dumb fuck, but I haven't even played any Paper Mario games except Color Splash. Now fuck off with your shitty excuses for jokes. People have better shit to read. When I initially made it to this chapter the first time and got blindsided by this plot twist, I fucking recoiled into my chair, threw my arms in the air. I was just so absolutely shocked. I felt like I was witnessing history, like I Am Your Father level twists here. This is subverting expectations done extremely well. Not Game of Thrones Season 8 bullshit. This is how you surprise a reader with a narrative plot twist. Who could have seen this coming? If you remember back to the genesis of this whole mess, it started with Aramaru melting down and breaking shit in his room over the fact that somebody liked a Paper Mario song he didn't like, and then accuses them of not having played any of the other Paper Mario games, and then only a short 100 replies later, he himself admits he's only ever played one Paper Mario game, and it's not even this one. It's so fucking remarkable. What an incredible twist. That is character development right there. Now we're getting a little bit of the origin story of Aramaru here, which only makes him even more mysterious. Well, I see my sympathy was misplaced. You seriously judge a game on what other people say about it? You sure have missed many a good game. Also, shame on you. Don't give out criticism if you don't actually have the knowledge to back it up. It's just stupid to say something's wrong and then give no evidence at all to support your theory. And that's researching 101. This guy Reddits. Also, it appears that you really do only know how to spit out insults. I'm gonna have fun with this. Hello again, my old friend. I see you're here to argue once again. Too bad this will end with you weeping, because your argument is less than the dust I'm sweeping. But you will not give up yet, because you don't realize that it's the internet. The internet. So you might as well be voiceless, as all arguments here are practically worthless. Dave Matthews goes full Robert Frost here with this personalized slam poem to Aramaru. I get that it's supposed to be a Sound of Silence parody, and it's executed wonderfully. A special song poem about the argument you still persist on despite the flaws in your argument. P.S. You still haven't told me what your favorite song in the series is. Did I ask? No, bitch, I didn't. Fuck off. Shut the fuck up. I didn't even read what you said because I just know it's dumb as shit, lol. Come on, man, he took the time to write an entire parody song for you. The least you could do is read the lyrics. For about 4 days, there was peace in the comment section where people were going over things they liked and didn't like about the game, and then Aramaru comes in full fury here, pitchfork in hand, ready to slap shit around. He reignites the argument by saying, "Obviously do if yo pussy ass won't just leave the conversation." Dave says, "Pff, ha ha ha, now I remember why I stick around. I'd love to see what kind of pathetic retort and comeback you are going to make at me that I can easily tear apart. Really, it is rather satisfying to see what you come up with." Once again, there was a truce called in the comment section for about a week, and then Aramaru came back, and Dave immediately noticed. He's like the NORAD defense system, able to hone in on Aramaru's presence and then attack. "Oh, hello there. Ready for round 2, my little whiny failure? Round and round the argument goes, when will it stop no one knows. That meme has been dead, fucking idiot. I'm ready for you to piss off, you worthless fuck. I did not drag your pride through the mud and make you look like a brainless, arrogant maggot. You did. You destroyed your own argument. You ignored the statements that made you look like a fool. You chose to spit out nothing but insults. Your fault. Your stupidity. Deal with it. Or stick around and continue to look like a moron. It's entertaining. And besides, we win either way. And you lose either way." Dave hits him with some kind of superhero monologue right before he throws the bad guy in jail. And Aramaru says, "Don't care to read your arguments, lol. As a matter of fact, I only read the first reply, lol. Quit wasting my time and fuck off." "Then you are nothing but a bottom-barrel fool who will have no success in life. As I said, you don't bother to defend yourself at all. That makes you an idiot. Also, why should I? You have no power here and you never will. The fact that you think you do just displays your idiocy for everyone. Besides, I already gave you the requirements for my departure. Or are you incapable of reading as well, my little maggot? Everything Dave has been saying thus far sounds like the Rick and Morty copy pasta from Reddit. I mean, I think Dave is in the right here because Aramaru's a huge fucking asshole, but man, he's really going about all of it in a terrible way. A month goes by. Is he finally gone? Yeah, he is gone. Is he gone if your dumbass would just quit replying? I didn't even read shit you said. I told you that I would only leave if you either apologized for being rude, or if you went 10 comments without swearing. You're not good at remembering things, are you, my little maggot? Hello, little maggot. Just letting you know that I am still in this comment chain, just in case you thought you were rid of me or that you actually won this argument. Okay, bye now. This was after a month of him not replying, so Dave just really wants to continue this, and nothing makes me more uncomfortable than reading Dave keep calling someone my little maggot. Like, this must be how it feels for some girls when they hear the word moist. Every time I read him saying my little maggot, I just get like tingly and uncomfortable and break out into like a little profuse sweat. It's just yucky. I feel like I'm reading some old woman's fanfic where she's describing some weird sexual intercourse she had at a biker bar or something, and it's just making me uncomfortable. I don't know why he keeps calling this guy my little maggot. I don't give a fuck where you are, dumb bitch. Just like no one cares about you, my little maggot. This will be the last time you see Dave with this kind of confidence because he's about to meet the actual muscle here. Mr. Hater. If Aramaru was a supervillain, then Mr. Hater is a fucking turbo villain. He's a galactic villain, a universal threat, a divine being of villainy. I don't even know what to call him, a fucking raid boss of villainy. Because he comes in here and just starts slapping shit around. He's a big asshole as well, of course. But he brings Dave to his knees here. This is like when you're reading a comic book and the hero's in trouble. So Mr. Hater comes in here with a full chub, full erection, red alert. He calls out Dave in front of the entire classroom. I see you have a superiority complex and are very self-centered. How very hypocritical. You're no better than him. Guess I gotta clean house and deal with little keyboard warriors like you myself. That is honestly like some Marvel's Thanos shit right there. Dave is still riding the high after he seemingly defeated Aramaru, so he replies to Mr. Hater with a large amount of confidence and a bit of arrogance, saying, Heh, you poor naive fool. When did I ever claim that I was better than little maggot? That I'm better than you? Oh, to live in your little fantasy. Can you not see what I am doing? Or are you just as blind as he is? Of course, I can tell you're cut from the same cloth as my little maggot, so I'll humor your attempts at insulting me and everyone else present. Let's see how long you last. Dave's still under the impression that he's the king of this Thunderdome, but what he hasn't realized yet is Mr. Hater's not locked in here with Dave. Dave is locked in here with Mr. Hater. Oh, I know your intentions very well, and I intend to stop it. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? Just look at your comment, you poor naive fool, to live in your little fantasy. These are things that a narcissistic, self-centered man-child would say. How am I or anyone with half a brain cell supposed to take you seriously? There's a reason the other guy left. You won't last long, Dave. You won't last long because underneath all that bravado, you're just a sad little boy with delusions of grandeur, who, by the way, can't talk for shit. So here's a piece of friendly advice. Turn away now and stop wasting Aramaru's time, because if you don't, by the time this is over, you'll be my little maggot. No response. Guess I must have hit one of your soft spots, Winky. So you actually have some bite, do you? Good. Let's see what you've got. I will compliment you on your use of insults, as well as how you get straight to the point. Dave is immediately showing that Mr. Hater has hurt him. You can't do that, Dave. You can never show weakness to a man like Mr. Hater. He can smell blood in the water. He can smell cum in a bathtub. He will pounce, and you can't let him find any amount of scrapes on your armor. Dave, he showed a weakness, and Mr. Hater exploited it, unfortunately. Heh. Of course you didn't realize. I wasn't talking about Lunar. I was talking about you and me. We don't care what others think of our opinion. We just say whether we agree or disagree with someone's opinion. In that way, we are alike, you and I. Don't you agree? I love this exchange here. This is like the season finale here when the two characters are monologuing at each other before they start beating each other with like a stick or something. Ah, I see you're trying to get on my good side. As you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. How about this, Dave? Write a full paragraph apologizing to Aramaru, and I might consider agreeing with you. And by the way, it has to be real nice, so no calling him my little maggot. Otherwise, I might just start calling you that myself. That would require me to have a single shred of respect towards little maggot. And in case you did not read the whole conversation, I did apologize to him. He threw it back in my face and used it to insult me without responding to it whatsoever. You, on the other hand, are actually participating in a discussion, while my little maggot only responds with the same insults like he's a broken fax machine. You, I respect, little wasp. I forgot to click read more for the screenshot, but it said, I do not respect little maggot. So now Dave, for some reason, is calling Mr. Hater Little Wasp. I don't understand where he's getting this from. Maybe like from old 60s movies or something where it was cool. And then he references a fax machine, which hasn't been in use for the last 30 years. So I just don't know what's really going on here. Maybe Dave is caught in a time vortex and he's communicating with us from the past. And he's only able to communicate through the comment section of Paper Mario Final Boss Song. But yeah, just really fucking love this part here. This feels like the climax of the entire argument. Dave going with the whole, we're not so different, you and I. We're one of the same. It's like some shit you'd see in Naruto Sasuke right before their final fight. It's fucking wonderful. You make a fair point. I shall apologize to him, but do not expect a paragraph. You make sound arguments, Mr. Wasp. I'm not one to call someone by childish names, but you are very hypocritical after all, so I expect nothing less. Anyway, do go ahead. Where's the apology? I don't see it. Mr. Hater's trying to rush this. It hasn't even been a full day at this point. Mr. Hater, he wants that apology ASAP. So now you can see Mr. Hater has assumed control of this entire argument. The entire tone has shifted here, and now Dave is at the mercy of Mr. Hater, and he wants his homework. Do not rush me. It's been 2 days now, so no excuses. You aren't gonna apologize, are you? I figured as much. If you wish to continue arguing, then be my guest, kid. Dave is starting to panic a little bit. He doesn't want to write this apology because he does not respect Aramaru, but he is afraid of Mr. Hater, so he's caught in between a rock and a hard place here, and he's treading water in the comment section. 1, I have a life at the moment. 2, you need a little bit of patience. 1 word. College. You don't go to college, David. Then you clearly set your expectations of me far too low. A shame, really. I thought you would be smart enough to not do what little maggot did. Stop lying to yourself, David. How about you tell me what's actually going on? College, as I said before. Do you not listen, or are you refusing to believe that I have a life outside of this? Now, if you excuse me, I have a music class to attend. I really don't understand why Dave even feels compelled to keep answering at this point. He doesn't want to write the apology. He shouldn't write an apology, honestly. He just doesn't have to reply to Mr. Hater. He can just wash his hands of this whole thing and still come out as the victor. But for some reason, he keeps engaging with Mr. Hater in here, and Mr. Hater's pressure is somehow like leaking into Dave's real world, it seems, because it feels like he's stressing about this apology, which he shouldn't write in the first place. Mr. Hater goes in on Dave, starts poking holes into his claims about college because 4 months ago it was still coronavirus shutdown, so classes weren't going on, so Dave feels the need to defend himself again. And then he kind of just explains he just doesn't want to fucking apologize, which he shouldn't. I'm glad he doesn't. Dave says, 1, truthfully, I don't want to apologize to Armu because I know for a fact it would not be genuine, and no matter how much I hate a person, I'm not going to insult them by giving them a mocking, half-assed apology. And 2, online classes are a thing that exists, and I'm not doing just a music class. Who is the antagonistic one here? Because it definitely isn't me. You poor, pathetic whelp, barking and baying like anything you say will ever matter. No, your words don't hurt me because they are artificial, fake, designed, and spoken for the sole purpose of inflicting pain without putting actual feeling behind it. Ha 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 ha. No, your words are hollow and do not deserve the electrons my brain cells would have to burn to process them, just like you. You're not special, you're not unique, you're not important, and you never will be, not now, not ever. So go ahead whelping, keep making a fool of yourself. I'll just watch the show, laughing all the while. And in your ivory tower of hypocrisy, did you ever once realize I never denied what you have been saying? You are a parasite, Mr. Hater. Something that must tear everyone down to justify their worthless existence. Perhaps I am one too, but that's where our similarities end. You lash out at anyone you see as below you. I lash out at people who do what you and Armu did. Insult and tear into someone because they dared to have an opinion you did not agree with, or lash out at people who defend themselves from other people like you. I never said I was better, but does it really matter in the end? At the end of the day, one of us looks like the bad guy to everyone else, and since I haven't been antagonizing everyone participating in this, it most definitely not me who's the bad guy. Try to say I'm wrong here. You're not wrong, Dave. Not at all. And people like Aramaru and Mr. Hater, yeah, they suck a lot of fat ass. It's sad that someone cares this much about someone's opinion on something that doesn't matter. 100%. Agree with you entirely there, Dave. But the way you're handling all this and then putting this huge, presidential speech here is not good either. This is the wrong way of handling any of this. And there's really just no point in arguing in a YouTube comment section to begin with. There are no winners here. Mr. Hater breaks down his response line by line. You lash out at anyone you see as below you. Dave, don't be ridiculous. I'm not as narcissistic as you, or at all for that matter. I lash out at anyone who do what you and Armu did. A mistake you will regret, as you have started all of this, and I aim to end it. The two go back and forth about the apology that Dave doesn't want to write. Mr. Hater just keeps picking apart each line of everything he says. My words are said solely to get you to leave. That's never going to happen, Dave. I've grown very persistent over the years, and trust me, persistence pays, and I will stay here for months if I had to. Will you? Yeah, big guy, I'm sure your persistence pays, living in a fucking comment chain for months. How productive and incredible. There are just some people who live their life to argue online, and it's sad as shit. This guy is the perfect example, willingly saying, I will stay in this fucking thread for months because I have nothing else going on in my life. That is pathetic. That's fucking sad, Mr. Hater. Apology seems unlikely. Then you will perish here eventually with me, as it's either you apologize to Aramaru now and we'll be on our way, or we're going to be staying here for a long, long time. So, with that being said, let's just start all over on a positive note. We aren't going to start all over on a more positive note until you start apologizing, Dave. Are you going to apologize for your own hostility? Short answer, no. Unlike you, I did nothing wrong, Dave. So it's either you apologize to Aramaru and behave, or you slowly perish with me for months. Either way, I consider it a win-win. And this is where the story stops. I mean, it goes on a little bit further, but nothing is more pathetic than this mic drop from Mr. Hater. These are the people you argue with online, people that have actually nothing better to do. He considers it a win-win if someone is perishing, wasting their time in a comment section with him. That's so fucking sad. He considers it successful if he wastes somebody else's time and wastes his own time because he's already miserable in the first place. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. 3 months after all of this went down, as the dust was starting to settle, Mr. Hater and Dave just stopped communicating with each other, and there was just momentary bliss as everyone read through the thread. And then Yoshi comments, tagging Aramaru, and Aramaru's been tagged this entire time. Yoshi just points out it's been 10 months, but 64 really good, kind of basic, 1,000 Year Door, bop, and all this. Just kind of breaks down his opinion of the music. And then Aramaru, from out of fucking nowhere, comes out of retirement to deliver one of the most powerful conclusions to any story ever given. I don't give a fuck about your opinion, this song is still shit. What a beautiful way of wrapping all of this up. But yeah, anyway, the last interaction between our main characters was 4 months ago. From what I checked today, there wasn't any new developments that I noticed. A few more people have been made aware of this because it was posted on Twitter. That's how I found it. And this has just been truly a joy. Delightful to read through. So just keep all this in mind next time you think you're confident enough to leave an opinion on a Paper Mario song. That's about it. So yeah, Twitter is a place where fun and happiness goes to die. But people have talked about how shitty Twitter is a million times by now. I'm not going to be talking about that today. I'm not here to add another noodle to that spaghetti. Instead, I want to talk about my favorite moment on Twitter. And this is a classic. This is something that I still think about pretty often, and it puts a big goofy smile on my face. And I'd like to share it with all of you just in case you weren't on Twitter at that time. And if you weren't, God bless you. Keep up the good work. But for those of you that may have missed it, I'd just like to bring it to your attention because this was truly one of the best moments on Twitter in my opinion. This happened in the crazy, wild, and wacky year of 2018. It was August 21st, and a young Charles White had only just recently celebrated his 23rd birthday. At the time, I hadn't even considered growing my hair out. How naive I was back then. A silly short-haired Charles in all his hubris took to Twitter on August 21st, as he typically did, just perusing and seeing what was going on, cruising the internet, when all of a sudden, his eyes were drawn to a developing story that was starting to really make waves on the platform. And the story involved NASA and a recently hired intern. Everyone shut the fuck up. I got accepted for a NASA internship. That's absolutely massive. That's huge. Like, that is a big accomplishment and something definitely worthy of celebration. Like, shit, I would be going wild too, ripping my shirt off and twirling it over my head if NASA even asked me to lick their toilet seats clean. So absolutely, I see the jubilation they were going through, but perhaps they celebrated a bit too aggressively. A while after the initial tweet, there was this response from a man named Homer Hickam, and he said something very simple: language. This is some shit like right out of a movie. One single word that changes everything, and it did. You see, on Twitter, most people assume that when there's just a picture of a person and they're an older person, that it's either a fake account or someone that they can just bully. I don't know why Twitter has that impression that old people just deserve to be bullied on the internet, but that's how it goes on Twitter, where everyone gets bullied. So Homer came in here and just dropped his cock on the celebration, just flopped his meat out on the fucking birthday cake here, and just said exactly what every teacher growing up would say when the class was getting rowdy: language. And the community didn't take too kindly to that, and especially not the original poster, who replied with this: "Suck my dick and balls, I'm working at NASA." This is one of those lines that would be on their tombstone, because this was a big mistake. Like Icarus, they had flown too close to the sun and were burning up now. Because they didn't just talk shit to a random person on Twitter, they said this to Homer Hickam, who holds the entire future of this person's career in the palm of his hand. It just like, his picture reminds me of Chris Hansen, and just like Chris Hansen, Homer Hickman has come out here and fucking shocked this person. Homer Hickman responds by saying, "And I am on the National Space Council that oversees NASA." You basically couldn't have chosen a worse person to say "suck my dick and balls" to. When it comes to their new job, they basically just told Jesus Christ to suck their dick and balls. It was a bold and foolish move, because our original poster here lost the internship. And it wasn't Homer Hickam who caused them to lose their internship. He didn't go to corporate, talk to the manager, and demand they lose it or anything like that. He didn't tattletale. They lost their internship naturally as a result of this conversation catching so much steam online. And Homer Hickam actually ran a blog where he talked about this, where he defended this person and elaborates a little bit further on the situation. So Homer Hickman seems like a fucking great guy. I'll go ahead and read his blog post to you now, which is unfortunately deleted, but it has been archived, so here it is. Social media. I love the way he starts this. It's like immediately professional, as if he's giving a full-blown fucking press release here to Twitter. Recently, it was called to my attention on Twitter that someone was being hired by NASA and that they were using the F word in a tweet about it. I'm a Vietnam vet and not at all offended by the F word. However, when I saw NASA and the word used together, it occurred to me that this young person might get in trouble if NASA saw it, so I tweeted to her one word: language, and intended to leave it at that. Soon, her friends took umbrage and said a lot of unkind things, but long after I was gone, as I immediately deleted my comments and blocked all concerned. Classic Twitter, bullying this guy until he just deactivates his shit, not surprising. Later, I learned she had lost her offer for an internship with NASA. This I had nothing to do with, nor could I, since I do not hire and fire at the agency or have any say on employment whatsoever. As it turned out, it was due to NASA hashtag her friends used that called the agency's attention to it long after my comments were gone. Again, classic Twitter. They thought they were helping, but they made it significantly fucking worse. It was all of her friends spamming NASA, which showed them the initial tweet of this person being extremely fucking hostile to a high-ranking NASA employee. So, excellent work, Twitter. We did it. She reached out to me with an unnecessary apology, which I heartily accepted and returned with my own. After talking to her, I am certain she deserves a position in the aerospace industry, and I'm doing all I can to secure her one that will be better than she lost. Secure her one that will be better than she lost. I have also talked to the folks that had to do with her internship and made absolutely certain that there will be no black mark on her record. Signed, Homer Hickam. It would have been such a power move and a huge mic drop if he didn't sign Homer Hickam and instead just ends it with, "Suck my dick and balls now." This guy seems like a real fucking class act. He gets absolutely fisted, his mud tunnel stretched on Twitter, unjustly, since he was literally just looking out for them in the first place by saying, hey, language, you shouldn't be saying NASA and fuck and suck dick and balls all in the same thing. NASA probably doesn't like that. Literally just looking out for this person and got nothing but hostility in response and having to deactivate his shit, and he still goes out of his way to try and help the person. That right there is a great guy. Now, from everything I've read, they never got the internship back, though they are still pursuing that field, and they were qualified for the position and still are qualified, but they no longer are offered that internship at NASA, and that's pretty much where the story ends. I just thought this was a truly fucking wild ride since I watched it happen in real time for the most part, and it was just so fucking crazy to see it go from like, I'm so happy, suck my fucking cock and balls, loser, I'm on NASA. Oh, there goes my internship. Just like this, it was like a full 4-act play, and it played out beautifully. And it was just great. So I just wanted to share that with all of you in case you never saw it, didn't know about it, and yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. When it comes to Twitter, I'll usually read a tweet, get a frown on my face, and then forget about it 2 or 3 minutes later because Twitter is just a constant stream of the dumbest shit all the time. It's just an actual cesspool of diarrhea constantly flowing through it. But occasionally there are tweets that just stick with me. And there's one that's just been living rent-free in my ass for the last 2 weeks. And I just want to talk about it today. It comes from Seth Rogen. I'm sure you already know what tweets I'm about to mention because I'm super late to this one, but I don't care. Just like puking while having a bad hangover, I've got to get it out of my system to feel better. So our story starts just like every other fairy tale, with a robbery in LA. Casey Neistat makes a tweet. So our cars got robbed this morning because Los Angeles is a crime-riddled third world shithole of a city. But tremendous appreciation and gratitude to the hardworking officers at the LAPD West LA, who not only arrested the motherfucker, but they got all our stolen goods back. That's about all there is to it. That's all she wrote right there. This fairy tale has a happy ending. Shrek gets the girl, case closed. Like, there's really not a whole lot to really dissect here, and you wouldn't expect this to be a controversial thing to say. His car got broken into, people got arrested, and they got their stuff back. I mean, that's a complete adventure right there. Like, the only people that could really be offended about a tweet like that would be the people that got arrested. Like, if they're on Twitter on their phone in jail, like, hey, fuck you, buddy. I would have got away with it, too, if it wasn't for that meddling dog. But then out of nowhere, from the top turnbuckle, comes Seth Rogen making a surprise appearance at WrestleMania on Twitter. I guess he's like the head of tourism for LA, because he got mad that he called LA a shithole of a city. That's what he took issue with. So Seth Rogen replies, "Dude, I've lived here for over 20 years. You're nuts, haha." Actually, I'll do the Seth Rogen laugh. Yeah. It's lovely here. Don't leave anything valuable in it. It's called living in a big city. Bro, just don't get your car broken into. It's that easy. It's called living in a big city. You should expect your shit to be constantly violated because you're living in a big city. Don't leave anything valuable in your car because you're gonna lose it. Duh. Dummy, fucking idiot, this is your fault now. You're the one that is to blame for this. You don't want your valuables stolen? Don't leave them in the car in LA. LA's wonderful, but just expect all your shit to get broken into, so plan accordingly by keeping less valuable stuff in your car. Love LA, it's great. It's such a stupid thing to come in and say out of nowhere. Even Casey Neistat, who plays nice with everyone, is taken aback by it. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's so outrageously stupid. Very rarely will you see somebody defend LA like tooth and nail, Obviously, there's people that like LA, especially extremely wealthy people like Seth Rogen, who found crazy success there. But it's pretty rare that there's someone as delusionally off the mark so consistently like Seth Rogen, and this is the perfect example of it. He finds the one spot and the one opinion that almost no one agrees with. He's also just not really shy about showing that he feels superior to the average person. Like, he took personal offense that Casey Neistat said LA was a shithole, and then, like, shames him for being upset that his car was broken into. Bro, just get another car, get other valuable things, it's that easy. So Casey Neistat responds, I can still be mad though, right? Feel so violated. Asking his permission to be mad, like, oh, if Seth Rogen says I can't be mad, then I guess I'm okay with it. So then Seth Rogen replies, yeah, oh yeah, you can be mad, but I guess I don't personally view my car as an extension of myself, and I've never really felt violated any of the 15 or so times my car was broken into. This dude is just leaving his car out like a candy bucket on Halloween, it seems. Once a guy accidentally left a cool knife in my car, so if it keeps happening, you might get a little treat. This is certainly up there with the wackiest, stupid shit I've read on Twitter from a celebrity. It's baffling that not only did his brain come up with this as a tweet, but it passed the filters that his brain has to post it. He's like, yep, this looks good. And he hit tweet, and it's still not deleted. And I'm glad it's not. I'm glad that he's just going to stick to his guns and leave this shit up. This is something that I feel is going to haunt him forever, because he is still getting clowned on to this day for this tweet. It's been 2 weeks now, and I don't think it'll stop anytime soon, because it is just that outrageously stupid. Because Seth Rogen doesn't view his car as an extension of himself, he's totally fine with people using it like a fucking fleshlight. They just treat his cars like a cum dumpster, and they dive right in, and Seth Rogen gives them a nice thumbs up, I suppose. And I'm assuming that extends to everything in Seth Rogen's life. As a lot of people have also pointed out, how does Seth Rogen feel about, like, his house? Is that an extension of himself? Because if not, why not just have a bunch of people go into your house, Seth, and take all your shit? Just let everyone have a field day. If your car's not an extension of yourself, your house, your property, it's not either. So I'm assuming he's just going to open his doors and let people come take all of his valuable possessions and high-five them on the way out, baby. I also love how he's defending LA by mentioning his car's been broken into 15 times in the time that he's lived there. That doesn't make people excited about LA, Seth, you fucking psychopath. Not everyone can afford to replace all their valuables after their car's been broken into 15 times, you goofball. And I also love that he closes it off by saying that one of them even left a knife in his car as a little treat, a tip. To me, that sounds like either a threat or they're trying to frame you for a crime. They fucking left a tool that they used at some other crime scene in Seth's car, and these fucking idiots just manhandling it, getting his fingerprints all over it, hangs it up on his fireplace mantle. Eventually the cops find it and connect him to some unrelated crime. Seth goes to jail for life or some shit. Like, I don't know who gets excited about someone leaving a knife in their car after it just got broken into. Like, it's just, the delusion here is unbelievable. So the conversation starts to fizzle out here, but it continues. Casey Neistat says, I didn't get any treats, he just took the decorations for my daughter's 7th birthday party and left bloody handprints. Yeah, obviously he's not going to get any treats. It's not like the Tooth Fairy broke into his car and left him some money for what they took. Like, it was a robbery. I don't know how Seth can possibly justify it by saying just let your car keep getting stolen and eventually you'll get a knife. Like, it's fucking silly. And then he says, serious question, how did you get your car broken into 15 times? Which is a great question, because you really have to go out of your way to get it broken into that many times, I feel. Seth says, I lived in West Hollywood for 20 years and parked on the street. Also, it sucks your shit was stolen, but LA is not some shithole city. As far as big cities go, it has a lot going for it. Yeah, especially if you're a burglar who knows what kind of car Seth Rogen drives, because apparently you can just go in there and take all that shit with no consequence, because Seth doesn't give a fuck. His car is getting broken into almost once a year at this rate. This is where the interaction stops, and you just have to wonder, what was Seth Rogen thinking? Like, who did he think this appealed to besides, like, the extremely rich Hollywood elites? Like, there's no normal person that's going to read that and be like, wow, how noble of Seth, just giving away his shit like that and accepting that beautiful knife. I don't know really what he was expecting to happen. But it got me thinking, what is the worst tweet I ever made? And I think I found it. I tweeted this back in 2019. I said, what the fuck, the chupacabra is real, he just fucked my grandpa. I don't regret posting the tweet, but I do really regret that I misspelled chupacabra. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this because I've been thinking about it a lot recently, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah. I find it so fascinating how often people just film their own crimes or post on Twitter about illegal activities that they're doing, and then it eventually comes back to haunt them where they lose their job or get arrested. It's just wild that so often people have this complete lack of self-control and inability to stop themselves from saying or doing dumb, stupid things on Twitter. Like, posting cringe on Twitter has cost more jobs than the invention of machines. And today I want to go over a disturbing new case of gross shit. This was something that went viral a few days ago, but I've only just now caught up on it. It's really gross, and I actually think that this is a deeper onion than most people realize. I think that this was all a manufactured marketing campaign conducted by a shameless degenerate in order to get OnlyFans subscribers. So, let's take it from the top. I'm sure if you were on Twitter a few days ago, you saw this post floating around. This little bit of eyeball poison was getting dunked on by everyone around the globe. And if people weren't shitting on it, they were shitting themselves out of just pure repulsion. So the post is talking about how they're coming out as trans canine and talking about how they've been with 6 dogs. So they celebrate fucking dogs, and they double down on this, triple down on it, and have made it their entire brand identity now. Like, this is now their online presence, is being the dog fucker. And they're very open about it, talking about it, and trying to make it like some kind of powerful movement about why fucking dogs is a great thing. Obviously, I'm on the side of common sense here. Animals can't consent to having sex. Thus, you're not even having sex with the animals, you're raping them. You're a dog raper. It's called bestiality, and it's a crime. It's illegal. It's not something to be celebrated or encouraged. Now, I think the person behind this knows it and was making this as a giant post that would hopefully gather a lot of hoopla and put eyes on their content. Because even prior to this post, they were dropping nude photos, lewd photos, and just talking like about trying to monetize their sexual content. And then after this post got so much steam, they made a statement saying that this had cost them their job, they now no longer have a way of making money, so in desperation, they're saying fuck it and starting an OnlyFans. When I'm pretty sure that was the entire plan from the get-go, and by having so many eyes on them from all of this spotlight that was shined there, they immediately got a giant head start. Like, they're way over 150,000 followers at this point, and I'm pretty sure that this was their intention from the get-go. They chose something that they knew most people would have a problem with. No one likes to see animals being abused, and no one likes to hear about animals being used as like sexual objects or sexual props for people in their content. It's like, that is beyond weird. So they are probably aware that by making that post, it would have gathered a lot of steam, which it did, and then they immediately went around with this narrative that they were fired. There's no way of knowing 100% for sure if they were fired. I take all of that with a grain of salt. And even the way they talk about it, like in that post they're saying they're going to sue everyone that got them fired, that just seems like a troll. That legitimately just seems like a weak, low-effort troll statement at the end there. There is evidence to suggest they may have actually lost their job from this, but even still, I don't think it's 100% confirmed as of this moment. Like, it just, to me, feels like this was all part of the plan. And you can also even see them, like, lean into it. If you go back a couple days before this blew up, they made this post about how OnlyFans models are the devil. You know, this is terrible stuff. Look, what kind of example are you setting for children, you godless heathens? And then only days later, turning around and dropping one of their own, OnlyFans is disgusting and you're going to hell for it, as they're signing up for an account. I could be wrong. This all could be done genuinely and wasn't meant as a marketing play for OnlyFans subscribers, but to me, that's just really what it feels like. It feels like someone that is very aware of what they're doing and trying to capitalize off outrage and being the villain. I've said this a million times, but on Twitter, since everyone has unlimited access to every unhinged thought and person imaginable across the globe, you will always find people that agree with you. No matter how outrageous the belief, you will always find supporters. And that's exactly what's happened here. They now do have legitimate supporters backing them and the dog fucking stuff from other equally deranged animal fuckers. It's pathetic, sad, and it's just really depressing that this is actually succeeding for them financially. Now, if I'm correct and this is all just revolting marketing for their OnlyFans, it doesn't make any of this justifiable, excusable, and it doesn't make the whole situation any better. But it would at least be nice knowing that the person behind all of this isn't actually a danger to animals around them and having sex with them, as well as other awful things that they've been talking about recently. Though I do think that there is a possibility that this is all true and they are actually out there harming animals, and they're just spitting in the face of anyone with any level of human decency, making posts like this saying that they'll buy a wolf pup with their first OnlyFans check, which is of course them not so subtly letting people know that they're going to be buying an animal for the sole purpose of having sex with it. They even mention that they're a size queen in reference to buying that wolf pup. So that's like something that needs to be like actually investigated, if this person is a legitimate danger or not to animals. Now, if I may, I'd like to turn your attention to another piece of evidence that I've collected in this case, and I'd like to present it to the court. So this is Exhibit D here. This is a post from them today, which is now seeming to champion for incest, talking about how having sex with your cousin is fine, it's all good, it's normal, and it shouldn't be like stigmatized and this and that. So this reinforces to me the thought that the person behind all of this is someone who is just trying to choose the most disgusting stances possible in order to attract as many tomatoes being thrown at them, so that way hopefully they can then catch a couple of like mentally unwell stragglers that are agreeing with them and then signing up to the OnlyFans. That's what this whole thing seems to me. Of course, I could be wrong, and this really could be someone that really believes in fucking dogs as well as incest, because they go on and on to try and defend this whole cousin sexual relationship thing. It's more really gross, repulsive stuff. But I just really do think that this is all just supposed to drive traffic to their OnlyFans through outrage. But yeah, regardless, the whole thing is horrible, the person is horrible. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah. Speedrunning an intro here, I just learned about some of the most entertaining drama of 2024. I saw it through Evil Pinely's video covering the situation 2 weeks ago, and it is still going currently today. It's about the CEO of a parchment paper business losing his mind and having this whiny temper tantrum meltdown, all because he watched a TikTok video of a girl being cooked a meal by her father.
When I told my dad I was going to be getting him the same pans that Gordon Ramsay has, he was so excited. I'm talking about the hex-clad pans, and today
it's a super innocent video of this girl's dad making a meal, and the CEO of parchmentpaper.com was angrier about this than he would be if he walked in on his wife having sex with another man. Though it is quite the stretch of imagination to envision this guy, this lunatic, with any kind of companionship in his life. So after watching this, he was infuriated, went on the actual company's business account, and left a mean comment, which started a series of events he couldn't have possibly foreseen.
I posted a video yesterday of my dad cooking for me with these hex-clad pans that we had gotten. There was a comment on there where the person goes, "Must be tough living a life on easy mode." I also didn't think the comment was rude at first, so I responded with, "Lucky to have parents who make it possible." And they responded, "Yeah, we get it. You have no skills and family money."
That's already such a weird comment right there. Must be nice living life on easy mode when it's just a girl getting cooked a meal by a caring father. Like, how bitter and miserable can your life possibly be to just see something like that and be like, I gotta give her a piece of my mind? That's a line that's usually used in reference to camming or OnlyFans or something. Must be nice living life on recruit difficulty because men are giving you a ton of money just to be hot or be naked or something. And this guy's taking that same energy and putting it into this situation where it's just a girl being cooked a meal by her father. Make it make sense. So he's so upset that he's doing this from the actual business account for parchmentpaper.com. So the Parchment Paper Patriot is really having a conniption. And then the poster responds saying, you know, it's supportive family, got lucky. She said she didn't even find it rude at first, which I don't know how you would see that as anything other than rude. But regardless, her response was super sweet, and he gets even more heated about that, fucking steam coming out of his ears, and goes, "Yeah, we get it. You have no skills and family money." What kind of projection is this? Holy insecurity. What do you mean you have no skills? All she did was show a video of her dad cooking her a good meal. It's ridiculous to assume that she has no skills. It's based on nothing. She could have bow hunting skills, nunchuck skills. She could be one of the most skillful human beings on the fucking planet. We have no idea. And then he's going, it's just your family's money. You're suckling off their bosom because your parents have money. What is happening here? Do you have no skills because you probably order Uber Eats all the time? Is your skill just ruining businesses? Like, I mean, that's a pretty cool skill, I guess. But anyway, this is only the beginning of his rampage, and he just fully self-destructs over the course of the next few hours. It's like Chaozu from Dragon Ball Z, when Chaozu latches onto Nappa and blows himself up, but the sacrifice was in vain because Nappa barely felt anything, really. That's what happens here. Parchment Paper Patriot blows up, and the girl, totally fine, and makes an absolute clown out of this guy, dunks on him. She obliterates this man.
And at that point, I'm just like, okay, what the hell? Like, maybe this account is hacked, because from a business account, that seems kind of weird. So I send them an email and I'm like, hey, like, I think somebody's on your business account, like, leaving cyberbullying comments. Didn't say anything else. That was it. And then I get an email from the CEO of...
I think anybody in their right mind would assume that that business account is hacked, because what little toddler would be shitting their pants, soiling their diaper over something as simple as watching a TikTok video of a girl being cooked a meal by her father? So I think that's very sound logic. Oh, this account must be hacked. I'll let the business know. So she reaches out, and the CEO himself, Brandon Howard, steps forward, saying, I don't consider stating factual information is cyberbullying, but if you're offended over a comment about having no skill set while getting to frolic through life with family money as bullying, I'd call the cyberbully police. Delete the comment and move along. Cheers. Brandon, I think the department we need on this case is the cringe police, because Jiminy Christmas, holy cannoli. Oh, he tried a facts don't care about your feelings moment there. What facts are we talking about? Her having no skill set? You have no idea who she is. You know nothing about her. All you watched was her get cooked a meal. I'm sure your parents cooked you meals at some point, right? Maybe they don't anymore because you're probably insufferable to be around, so they probably cut you off. I imagine that's the case, which is why you're so upset over this moment. I don't see at all how this would be indicative of her just frolicking through life, coasting off of her family's money. That's a unreal leap in logic based on nothing at all. And honestly, she was like a good Samaritan here, like looking out for your business, thinking that you might have been hacked because of how awful this behavior is and how terrible the look it is for your business. And then you double down and make things significantly worse by being this big loser. Also, I love the chutzpah here from Big Baby Brandon to claim that she was offended over his comment, when this sensitive worm was offended first over her being made a meal. This guy needs to call the wambulance because he can't stop crying about this video of a father making a meal for his daughter.
Considering my parents literally grew up in mud huts, worked their ass off to get out of India, get us here, and get me to the position that I am and able to have a full-time job and a side career. Then he goes back to the page and goes, cyberbullying is even more funny, and the fact that you emailed us to tell us is actually hilarious. Enjoy frolicking through life and leave the rest up to us adults who create actual economic value without a trust.
Yeah, leave the heavy lifting up to the real adults, like Brandon Howard, CEO of ParchmentPaper.com. It's comical that the parchment paper guy is trying to act hard here. Like, I don't know what he expected to happen. He just looks so stupid, claiming that she's like a trust fund kid based on nothing. Literally nothing. All just gobbledygook here. All you saw was a video of her getting made a meal by her father. How could you possibly connect all of these weird dots? To me, it seems like the person who's really frolicking through life on easy mode is you, who has unlimited time in the day to respond to random people on TikTok and leave comments that just let everyone know that you're an outrageous asshole. Like, you must not be doing that well business-wise, if that's what it's boiled down to here.
They did send me a legal notice. It came from info@parchmentpapers.com, and it says that they are really worried about the safety of their team, and if I don't remove the defamatory posts on TikTok, they will be taking legal action, which I don't believe it's defamatory
because it's not defamatory at all. All she did was share his comments, which are public, in that email, his statements, all from his mouth. This stupid douchebag is just doing one of those desperate Hail Mary maneuvers when they have nothing else left and trying their absolute best to save a sinking ship from the holes that they themselves have poked in it. And it doesn't work, and it actually leads to him looking like even more of a clown because she points out some pretty interesting things about this cease and desist.
So yeah, like, I don't believe it's defamatory. I also don't believe you have a legal department because you signed it incorrectly. It says legal department at parchmentpapers.com. You forgot the dot. Did you forget to delete the part where it says, like, your contact information because you're using a template? And also, what's with the cease and desist? I thought it was CEASE. Who's doing your spell check?
Good heavens, Brandon Howard did some ayahuasca and tried to send a cease and desist and lost himself somewhere in the sauce. So apparently it was signed incorrectly from legal department at parchmentpapers.com. And then here's some more information on it, I suppose, where he left in your contact information in brackets. So as she points out, that means he's most likely using a template here. That is actually that shit on a teleprompter where it's like, wait for applause. And you say it out loud and you're like, ugh, I made a big boo-boo because I wasn't supposed to read that. He fucking left that in. This absolute buffoon. And the goober doesn't even know what a cease and desist is. He did seize and desist. Holy shit. I think he's the only one that works at this company. Nobody else saw this before the email got sent out. His supposed legal department okayed this. If he does have a legal department, they need to be fired right now. They need to get fired yesterday. Because that is a disgrace. That is not a legal document whatsoever. Fucking your contact information in brackets, cease and desist. You couldn't have made that any worse. This legal document he tried to send over is now more worthless than the parchment paper that he's built his life upon.
Another day, another email. This time you decided to fix the typos. Congratulations. And you also told me you're fixing the typos. Very interesting thing for your legal department to say.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. She is cooking him harder than the meal that her father cooked her in the first place that started all of this. I love how he proudly calls attention to fixing the typos. Like a student in class, like, excuse me, teacher, I fixed the spelling mistakes in the cursive. Fix the typos just in case you couldn't figure out we're very serious about this issue, as your direct actions to intentionally harm to us. Oh my god, the grammar is diabolical as well. And our company is not being taken lightly. We expect action to be taken within 48 hours. See attached. It's probably a picture of Brandon Howard's butthole here going spread goatsy on her. So, this is clearly, again, written by someone that is lacking a 4th grade education. Brandon, I think your first hire at parchmentpaper.com should be an English tutor for yourself here. This is bad. How you even attempt to run a business is beyond me. I guess they just let anyone into the parchment paper industry these days. But, yeah. So, Brandon again tries to strike back here, and again looks super dumb for it. But congrats on fixing the typos, idiot.
But your cease and desist at the bottom, I saw that it said rocketlawyer.com. So, of course, I had to call them and ask them, is this a real legal document? And they said no immediately, and they said this looks like a phishing scam and you should probably not respond.
Oh god, even rocketlawyer.com's shooting spitballs at Brandon now. Just saying that, no, it's definitely not real. It's probably a phishing scam. Don't respond to it. Oh, what do you use the parchment paper for, Brandon? Honestly, it's almost poetic that the guy who owns a paper business can't read or write very well. I think that's poetic almost.
Anyways, then you decided you're going to start using my work email, which is public, to sign me up for corn sites, for Scientology, but you forgot that those companies will actually send you the IP where the accounts were made from. And it's funny because it's pinging in California, and I'm not in California, so... But I do remember that on Trustpilot, when you had your address up, it was coming up in California. Suspicious, huh?
Brandon's out here collecting L's like they're the Infinity Stones. He is greedy for that shit. He can't stop losing. And I can't stop thinking about how he signed off that legal document about, like, having 48 hours to comply or whatever. Trying to give it, like, a deadline. Like, this is the ultimatum. You've got to do it within 40 hours or else it's gonna get serious if you couldn't tell. That's just so lame. Like, I feel like he must have just watched Mission Impossible at some point. This message will self-destruct upon finishing. That kind of thing, and he tried to channel that into this document here to give, like, a sense of urgency, but it falls so flat.
But you want attention so freaking bad because you will not stop talking about this. You are basically the only one who is still talking about this at this point. Since my initial email to you where I thought your company was hacked, I have not tried to contact you. At first, you were laughing and sipping Mai Tais on the beach, and then you were having crybaby sales because this was drawing you so much attention.
So this video is only 3 days old, which is weeks after Brandon's biblical meltdown, and he's still going on about it. So this is a screenshot from his crybaby special, which, oh my god, the irony almost makes me sick. This fucking guy lacks self-awareness to an almost delusional degree. He is the only one that has been crying. He started with the waterworks and the French cries because he watched the girl get cooked a meal by her father. He is the crybaby, and yet he's still trying to push it on everyone else like they're the problem. Our thousands of real customers will appreciate this. On sale, custom dimensions on demand. Boy, howdy, Brandon. Custom dimension parchment paper? I'm out the door. I gotta get on that right now. All these real customers are probably just so excited by this. Nothing makes me believe in a company quite like them referring to their customers as the real customers. I'm sure there's probably dozens of them. Dozens.
Your fake legal letters were not working. You thought it would be a smart idea to reach out to my boss at the agency that I work for and ask him to remediate the situation for you. You thought you could tell my boss to tell me to delete my videos. Just because you involved your business by commenting from your business profile does not mean that you get to include my place of work.
Pathetic, slimy tactics from an absolute greaseball here. So he apparently contacts her boss to try and whine to him to fix it, which obviously didn't do anything. Brandon, this is so sad. This is so embarrassing.
When all of this failed, you thought it would be a great idea to send me one more email stating that you will deal with it as you see fit, whatever the hell that means. And then you decided to add this banner to your website. I'm sure you think that
this is when it gets so spicy. We do not support woke, feminist, cancel culture, hate mob groups who do nothing positive in our community. On his official parchmentpaper.com website, this guy has lost his marbles. He's off his gourd right now. He's going sicko mode. Brother, what are you even talking about? All she did was showcase your comments and made fun of you. What is the woke feminist cancel culture movement here? You made yourself look stupid and people clowned on you for it, rightfully so. You are the problem. And also, didn't you just try one of those cancel culture maneuvers by contacting her boss and her place of work to get her in trouble because of you and your beef with her? How can you lack self-awareness to this degree? It's almost criminal, I would say. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. So he's got this now proudly posted on his website at that point, and I also love how he says that she does nothing positive for the community. When you came out of nowhere, the negative Nancy, just saying that she lives life on easy mode and has no skills and relies on her family's money, all just because she had a video of her father cooking for her. What are you talking about? What positive shit do you bring to the world, Brandon? Now, I will say, that section right there is just so outlandish with the woke feminist cancel culture mob being on the paper's website. It's so over the top that I half believe that might actually be faked by somebody, and I also struggle to believe that Brandon would be competent enough to even put that on his website in the first place. I just don't think he has the capability to do that. And I really don't think he has a team around him. I think it's just him. So I think that one might not be real. But to argue against that point, his statements on the official Black Label Paper Instagrams echo that same sentiment about like the woke cancel culture mob and all of that shit. So there is a chance that it's real. There is a very good chance that it's real, but I do want to put it out there that I haven't been able to 100% confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is, because as of right now, it's not on the website. But he could have just deleted it after backlash.
But you continue to talk about it, you continue to make stories about it, and you continually want the attention. As if all of this was not enough, you decided that you were going to start making all of your stories on your Black Label Paper account involving your other company now for no apparent reason. Take down another company, why don't you?
So this is his other business that he's now calling in off the bench for this drama. I cannot imagine why he thought that'd be a good idea, but it's Black Label Paper. So all of his businesses are parchment and paper related, and I would wager a guess that the quality of his product is most likely atrocious, probably not even like worthy to be toilet paper if I had to guess. So he goes, all you fucking losers need to stop messaging us about a fake TikTok account made by than her and her dumb-ass minions because her fragile little ego couldn't handle a couple smart-ass comments on IG about skill set and money. I've never had the commie bullshit app TikTok in my entire life. A bold-faced lie. Also, why would you be posting this on your business account again? Like, your real customers that didn't know about any of this are now being made aware of it, and you look so weak and pathetic in all of it. And tell that little... Oh my god. Oh, what? Oh, I can't even read these. Holy shit. Fucking losers, I swear it's been 2 weeks almost and still have to deal with this childish bullshit. You are the only one keeping it up, by the way. You are the only one that still is doing this and engaging with it. No one else is talking about it. This drama it's dried up. It's gone stale. But he keeps putting it on people's radar. He keeps serving this up on a plate to us. He's cooking it for us. And we're eating it. He's doing it. He's the chef. She is too immature to settle this privately, and I'm not going to let some woke hate mob ruin my reputation because they live in some mystical fairyland of make-believe and think because they have 20k followers they're doing something in life. Clown emojis. I also can't help but laugh at how much he keeps trying to throw out woke, cancel culture, all of that kind of shit. Just a bunch of buzzwords that don't even apply here, because all that happened was she showed these comments from a laughably embarrassing CEO that he publicly made and then shared his email where he doubled down on it. That's it. It's all his fault. There's nothing else beyond that. And he just can't accept it. He can't come to terms with reality because he lives in the mystical fairyland. Like, he's in the fucking Narnia. Nobody else. It's just him. Here's another one of his posts, this time on a really cute background. He talks about Business Insider and some articles reaching out for a comment. Some fragile ego wannabe influencer IG about their lack of skill set and frolicking through life, where she got so offended and cited the woke hate mob smear campaign against me to get me canceled. Fake accounts were made by her delusional woke followers. He just keeps sprinkling that in there as much as possible, just trying desperately. I cleared up the reality of the situation with all three media outlets. It didn't fit their narrative either, which was to further extend the adult children drama. God. So after 9 years in business, 3 business publications don't care about the good I've done and the help I give to people on a daily fucking basis. Yeah, I'm sure your parchment is invaluable. I'm sure you're doing a great service. You really seem like a stand-up gentleman. Their entire goal is just to hate people who try and do good. You really seem like you're striving to do good, Brandon. You really fucking do, brother. Yeah. What a saint. Oh, they demand respect yet do absolutely nothing to earn it and hate every person who doesn't bend over for their spineless agenda. If you're going to try and shit on me, my brand, business, and companies, you losers need a job, hobby, life outside of TikTok. Fucking losers in their 20s with an 11-year-old intelligence, but yeah, I'm the asshole. Yeah, you are the asshole, Brandon. Also, you're the one with the 11-year-old intelligence. You can't even read and write properly. You tried to make a legal department, like to cosplay as a legal department, and couldn't even get the emails correctly. Typos out the wazoo, and even in the ones where you fix the typos and even proudly proclaim that you fix the typos, you still make a typo. You suck. Like, you are the one with the child brain.
Sure what your end game here is, and I'm not even sure that you know what your end game here is, but in your own words, I don't have time to bicker back and forth about some nonsense comments, nor is it my problem that you're offended over them.
Yeah, that about sums that up. I think she did a great job of just closing the book on it with that final statement there. Fucking fire. I think this whole drama has been so wacky. Like, entertainingly silly. All over nothing. It started over nothing. Just a really insecure, sensitive guy who lost his mind. And couldn't help but do as much damage to him and his business's reputation. And very impressive stuff. I had to talk about this when I learned about it. Huge thanks to Pinely for showing me this, because this is gold. This is some of that, like, top tier drama. You know what I mean? So I had to talk about it. That's about it. See ya.